From the Kiss 92.5 studios in Toronto, Canada.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen.
This is Roz and Mocha.
It's Roz and Mocha. What's going on?
Hey guys, this is Bruno Mars.
This is Selena Gomez.
The Chainsmokers.
Lady Gaga.
Calvin Harris.
Celestia Cara.
This is Ed Sheeran.
You're listening to my boys Roz and Mocha.
Roz and Mocha.
My boys Roz and Mocha.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
Mocha. Roz and Mocha. You guys are so funny, man.
Congratulations, Lisa! Wow!
You just won $1,000.
That is amazing. Y'all just made my entire morning. Keep it up.
You guys are awesome, man. This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Was all my Italian friends.
Huh?
So let me play this clip of this video that I was watching where somebody's going through talking about Italian dishes that aren't actually Italian.
Is this going to break my heart?
No, maybe it will. I don't know. And then I got a whole other list I'm going to go through with you.
Oh, my God,
So here,
dude.
so listen.
You
listen.
know, Italian, this is my favorite food
I
ever.
know.
Come on, man.
Okay, here, go play. Just hit play, and then we'll come back and discuss.
Let's start with spaghetti and meatballs. Italians actually don't eat meat on top of pasta like that. It's normally in a sauce, like ground. So you can find meatballs as a side, but never on your pasta. The same goes for chicken parmesan and also eggplant parmesan. Next up, we have pepperoni pizza. Now, pepperoni in Italian actually means peppers. So if you order a pepperoni pizza when you're in Italy, you will not be getting this. Next, we have garlic bread. They use garlic for seasoning their dishes, and then they remove it upon eating.
Okay.
Mamma mia, my mind is blown.
So no, that's the case right there. I mean, garlic bread, you have to know that was an American creation, right?
Okay,
like
sure.
100%.
But spaghetti meatballs?
Spaghetti meatballs, not Italian.
Pepperoni pizza.
Meatballs, yes, but not the sort of meatballs on a red sauce on top of pasta. They said that is not Italian.
Have they tried that in Italy?
Shrimp
It's delicious.
shrimp scampi, also not Italian. This is the one that I was very confused about.
Okay.
Marinara sauce.
Not Italian?
Not Italian.
Come on.
Let me read you this. You might feel like we just pulled the rug out from under your feet, but marinara sauce isn't Italian. Nope. The red sauce you've been dumping onto your pasta and pizzas is very different from any kind of sauce that you'll find in Italy. Marinara sauce is tomato heavy, and while tomatoes are on the list of foods you should eat every day, traditional Italian sauces are light on the tomatoes and heavy on other ingredients like olive oil and herbs. The result is a much lighter dish with a more delicate flavor. If you compare it apart with your beloved marinara sauce, try ordering. Okay, never mind that. So, okay. Italian wedding soup, not Italian.
Come on.
Nope.
That's what they serve at Italian weddings, though. How is it not? Who came up with the name then?
I don't know.
Where did it come from?
I don't. This is the stuff, man. I don't know. Italian subs, not Italian.
But it's got the dressing.
Italian dressing, not Italian.
Why are we being lied to?
Okay, Italian dressing.
This doesn't seem fair.
Yeah, Italian dressing is a tangy vinaigrette made from oil, vinegar, herbs, spices, sugar, and more. However, Italians rarely dress their salads. And if they do, they simply splash on some olive oil on their greens with veggies. So Italian dressing, not Italian. Pepperoni pizza, not Italian, as she had said in that, because pepperoni was like a pepper as opposed to the meat on a pizza. So you can get like prosciutto and other cured meats on pizzas, but rarely in that small, round pepperoni form. Chicken Parmesan. Now, the way that I understood chicken parm was that it was originally, like the Italian version of the Parmesan was the eggplant Parmesan.
Correct.
It was a vegetable dish, and it was only when it was co-opted in America that it became chicken and veal parm.
Which
but
I'm
there
glad.
is no,
Oh, it's so good.
so good. A chicken parm is like the best.
When there was a summer I spent.
Are Italians, are they writing right? 925-555, because I know we got a lot of them listening to this show. What are your thoughts on all of this? Because if we're wrong, I want you to tell us that we're wrong. Because I'm trying to find as many sources as I can to get through the what's Italian and what's not Italian. Fettuccine Alfredo, not Italian.
What?
No, not
Seriously?
Italian.
It's such a delicious, creamy dish.
Mozzarella sticks, not Italian.
What, are you serious?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Come on.
So a double not Italian if it's mozzarella sticks with marinara sauce.
Thank you. That is the least Italian thing you could possibly order. Okay. Mozzarella sticks and marinara sauce is definitely is definitely
Okay,
not
kicked out of Italy.
not Italian, right? Yes, like you won't find that anywhere, like nowhere.
Wow, my mind is actually blown.
Yeah, I know. But I like a spaghetti and meatball though.
Same.
But here's the thing that I think about it though, is I prefer meatballs as a side.
I don't mind meatballs on the side.
Really, that's my number one way to eat meatballs. Like if I eat meatballs, like if I'm doing a meatball night, right?
Yeah.
Like I make meatballs. The way that I have meatballs is like 3 balls with some sauce in a dish
Cheese?
with just some bread.
Oh,
Like
and cheese.
yeah,
No
and cheese. Yeah, sometimes cheese. Yeah,
Oh.
but I don't put it on a pasta. Like I don't do meatballs on a
No, I
pasta.
love it.
To me, meatballs is a side.
No, I love it in the pasta.
But do you then break up the meatball when it's on the pasta?
Yes.
So why not just make a bolognese sauce?
Why not just mind your own business?
Okay.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hello, Roz and Mocha, who's this?
Oh my goodness, my name is Maria. I am so excited to be on your show.
Hey, Maria. How you doing, girl?
Good. I've been listening to you guys for a very, very long time.
Okay, how long?
Since my children were 4 and now they're 15. And we
Oh,
listen
wow.
to you in the morning when I drive to work and
Yeah.
drop them off to school.
So you've been listening literally since the beginning of the show.
Yes. I know all your stories. Your stories about your children, and
Aw.
it's just, I love you guys. You make our mornings. My kids love Maury, especially when he's trying to answer math questions. Anyways, I'm so excited. I'm Italian, and I wanted to say something about the Italian wedding soup.
Yes.
Okay.
So, being a child of immigrant parents, my mom used to make it for us. I'm not a big fan. I think it was something that they made here. They would make a soup, and then they would beat up the eggs and then put it at the end in the soup. And so that ended up becoming this popular dish because it had protein, and it was placed in chicken broth. And my mom Canadianized it by putting it into Lipton soup, the chicken noodle soup.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I think that's where it really came from. It is not Italian. We go to Italy. We visit Italy. Italy, the ingredients are very from the earth, very natural, and not very saucy or super cheesy. But a lot of the ingredients that you see in Italian recipes are, they've taken it from the traditional ones, but the Canadianized or the American ones, they seem to have a lot more.
So we're getting a lot of texts from people who are saying it depends on which region or what area of Italy you're in because it will serve these dishes differently. One person
That is true.
just also said, Roz, the way you describe the way you eat meatballs is the correct way to eat meatballs. Somebody else said that everything that you said that was on that list and everything that lady said in that video is 100% true. Let's see
True
here.
as in they're all not Italian.
Correct.
Right,
Somebody
right,
else
right.
wrote in and said, this is true. I would eat at my nonna's house, and she would only make spaghetti with red sauce, and that's it. Everything else was on the side, including bread.
Yeah.
I go to an Italian restaurant here often, and that's all they make. When you order spaghetti, it's just with red sauce.
Right.
We never grew up eating a white pasta sauce. Also, chicken parm. We eat the chicken cutlet, eaten just like that without anything on the side.
Right.
So,
I have a question. Mocha, you are a big fan of Italian food. Is macaroni and cheese Italian?
that is not an Italian
No.
dish. No.
Mac and cheese?
No, macaroni and cheese.
No.
No. Craft dinner, mac and cheese, no.
Delicious, but not Italian.
Okay, what about a chili dog?
That's definitely
No.
not Italian. Hey, Maria, much love to you and your entire family. Thank you
Thank
for
you
your
so much. I love
dedication.
You guys.
Oh, we love you
kids
too.
love you.
Nah, you're the
Okay,
best.
thank you. Bye.
Whoa, Maria, because you've been listening for so long, 11 plus years now. Between Roz and Mocha, who's your favorite?
Oh my gosh, I love you. I love you all. I love you both. It's too difficult to choose. Roz, I've seen you like on ET, starting on Entertainment Tonight, and here, and I've heard all the stories about your little girl growing up. And Mocha, you two with your son Cruz. I can't choose. You guys are both amazing.
Okay, but you could choose one.
Listen, you're not our mother, okay? You're allowed to have a favorite.
That's true.
I can't, guys. I have twins, and I can't choose my favorite, so I can't choose. You guys are like twins.
The one on the
You're
left.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I hurt Roz.
Thank you, Maria. I love you lots.
I love you.
Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful morning.
Bye,
You too. Hi, it's Roz and Mocha. What do you want to say?
I texted him because I'm from an Italian home, and everything that you said about all those dishes is 100% true.
Really?
Sorry, Mocha.
Hey, that's okay. Delicious food is still delicious food.
I agree with that. I agree with that. We could go through everything that is, considered Italian that is not actually Italian. I think that we would take a much longer time going through all the things that people say are Mexican that actually aren't Mexican.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
I think that exists. But that's what you get. That's the wonderful thing you get with having so many immigrants over the years just start populating urban areas where things change and, it becomes the essence of Italy or the essence of Mexico. And none of it's bad. Like spaghetti and meatballs is not bad. Like fettuccine Alfredo is not bad. Mozza sticks and marinara sauce aren't bad. They're just not Italian.
But whatever.
Right? Quesadillas are delicious, right?
I know. So good.
Quesadillas are delicious.
Yes.
They're not Mexican.
No.
Listen to Maury. What?
Thanks so much for the call today.
Take care.
The Roz and Mocha Show
podcast.
Dude, there is a battle going on right now. And I don't see an end anytime soon. I don't think either of these sides will ever agree. I don't even think that there's room for compromise. And for the longest time, for a bit, millennials have been battling with boomers or Gen Xers.
No.
They have
just
been.
boomers, not Gen Xers. There's been no battle.
Okay,
there is no battle. Don't drag me into this.
Okay, boomers.
Your nonsense.
Chill.
No.
Chill.
Don't drag me into your nonsense.
So millennials are in another battle. And this time, it's with Generation Z.
Yes.
The generation below them. So just to recap, millennials are between 81 and 96. Gen Z is 97 to current times.
Mm-hmm.
And in the past, 8 or 9 days, there have been new stories as to what they're battling about.
Mm-hmm.
Side part versus part in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Skinny jeans versus baggy jeans.
Mm-hmm.
And then emojis. So I don't know where you want to start. We can cover all topics.
Yeah, I think that the battle between the women, the Gen Z women and the millennial women with the side part skinny jeans is interesting because millennial women have taken such offense to this simply because Gen Zs are coming off like they've experienced everything firsthand, that they've just now discovered that baggy pants are in existence.
Not knowing that baggy pants were all 90s.
That we've gone through cycles of this before, cycles upon cycles upon cycles. And the same thing with the side part. And I know people got some real big feelings about this. Basically, man. Gen Zs are saying to millennial women that if you part your hair on the side and wear skinny jeans, you're old. Mm-hmm. Right? That's basically, that's the sentiment.
Millennial women don't want to be called old.
And they don't want to be a part of that.
I mean, nobody wants to be called old.
No.
So I was trying to find some examples on social of Gen Zers talking about any of this stuff. But the problem you run into, because all this is happening on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
So the shade, the flames that they're throwing are all videos with music and then just words popping up on the screen.
Sure.
So nobody's saying anything.
No.
Right? But it's the millennial women who are all coming out being like, yo, hold up a minute.
Why are skinny jeans cancelled? Because whenever I wear skinny jeans, my sister's always like, basic bitch. And I'm like, bitch, no! Let me show you. Okay, so this is what I look like when I wear baggy jeans and baggy top.
She's just wearing baggy jeans, whatever, right?
You know what? I still look good. But let me show you the skinny jeans. These are the skinny jeans. They're just They just perk everything up.
Yeah. I know, man. I know.
And same thing with the side part. Same thing with using emojis. Like all the videos that anyone from Gen Z are posting, it's all either to music or with them just pointing at words or the words.
They're burning skinny jeans and cutting them apart.
Yeah.
I
Isn't
know.
that crazy? I had
Yeah.
no idea that they hated skinny jeans so much. And you know me, I love emojis. And apparently, according to Gen Zers, the laugh cry emoji
It's
is
for
not
old
being
people.
used anymore and is dedicated strictly to old people.
Yes.
It's the one. It's officially it's named the face with tears of joy, and it's the most used emoji ever. I mean, not the Gen Zers anymore. And one person said that she stopped using the laugh cry emoji because her kids don't use it at all. Because they makes her feel old.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't want to feel old. A 21-year-old told CNN, I use everything but the laughing emoji. I stopped using it a while back because I saw older people using it, like my mom and my older siblings, and just older people in general.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's a disconnect, that millennials are having because they've been the younger generation forever, right?
Yeah.
They were the young troublemakers, and they were the ones who were, pointing fingers and talking
At the older
generation. And now they got the younger generation coming up, and just the attacks seem extremely superficial. The millennials are pissed off because what they were complaining boomers did was destroy the world, the economy, housing, all of this stuff, job prospects, student loan, all of this stuff they were blaming on boomers, right? And they felt that their arguments were valid, that they needed to be heard because the things that they were discussing, the things that they were pissed off about the older generation were valid. And then you have the younger generation coming up behind millennials saying, ooh, side part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, skinny jeans. Ooh, your emojis suck and make you look old.
Yes. And so that's why millennials are so pissed off, because they're looking at the younger generation going, this is where you're planting your flag.
So
this is what you're making yours.
If you're wondering...
My side part.
What? That's so ridiculous, right? If you're wondering what emojis Gen Zers are using, they're using the skull even more to indicate, quote, I'm dead or I'm dying, because, the post or the conversation is just so funny. And they also they won't use the laugh cry, but they'll use the laughing loudly crying emoji.
Yeah.
And I went through and I found, this is so funny, man, a couple of tweets from Gen Zers to millennials.
Yeah.
So you want millennials to get real mad right now? Millennials, please take your Hogwarts house out of your Twitter bio.
Gen Z hate that.
Why do millennials love to be like, quote, adulting? Like, yeah, you're pushing 30. I hope you'd be adulting. Not sure how millennials made liking pizza a personality trait, but they did, and now we're all forced to live with it. Millennials love saying, quote, so I did a thing. Girl, go reread Harry Potter and shut up. Millennials are so cute. They're obsessed with rose gold and like, where's my wine?
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Gorilla Glue girl. She got that glue out of her hair.
Yeah, it looks good now.
Procedure took place in Beverly Hills, and it was one of the doctors that offered up his services for free. So the glue's out of her hair.
Mm-hmm.
She's good now.
Mm-hmm.
Never use it again. There's a guy in Louisiana who didn't think that Gorilla Glue was as bad as this story then became. So he decided to put some Gorilla Glue on the edge of a Solo cup, a red Solo cup, and stick it to his mouth and let it sit there, and ended up in the hospital because obviously it wasn't coming off. His name is Len Martin, and he did an interview on Facebook yesterday talking about
with
the
the cup
thing.
on his mouth.
No, this was after. After the cup was removed. But when you hear him talk, it sounds very muffled because he's got like gauze all over his lips.
Yeah.
Right? And then another, it looks like a mask
Right.
over his face.
I trimmed the cup with some Gorilla Glue and placed it in my mouth for a few seconds, or for a few minutes, in which I thought that I could lick it off, kind of, to moisten it and pull it right off. But that didn't work, though.
So then...
People are so stupid.
Right? And then he was asked, like, you saw the story that happened and the whole ordeal and everything that this young lady went through after putting Gorilla Glue in her hair.
Mm-hmm.
And you still decided to do it.
I really didn't think, did you see what the young lady tried with the Gorilla Glue with her hair?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, okay. And I thought she was just playing around because I didn't think it was that serious that Gorilla Glue would actually do all of that, I actually tried it a couple of times before. It never really worked for me for anything, like using it actually on things. And that's what kind of, I was like, okay, well, she's lying and, all these challenges going on. So I said, I'm going to go ahead on and try it,
All right.
And it went backwards,
So then, when he couldn't get the cup off of his lips after using the Gorilla Glue, he had to go to the hospital.
I was there for maybe about a little over an hour, 2 hours or so. Basically, my pressure was up. I was going through a lot of distress also. They did like a peeling, basically a moistening peeling, to get it off from there, from my upper skin on my lip, So basically all that has been torn off, I don't want to be sitting up here like this. You got Valentine's Day coming up. I can't even kiss my old lady, that's not what I'm trying to do.
Can't even kiss his lady.
Idiot.
But if you heard, he said all the skin on his top lip had been like completely removed.
You idiot. There's people that, oh God, social media is the worst. It's the absolute worst.
So, goes to prove that Gorilla Glue actually works.
No, Gorilla Glue does. We all knew.
Right?
Gorilla Glue worked.
Yeah, completely.
Everybody knew
Completely.
that Gorilla Glue worked.
Man, what marketing for them though, huh? I
No,
wonder if
it's
sales...
terrible. I feel so bad for the Gorilla Glue people.
No, but like sales must be going up.
I know.
Because people are like just
But
like
don't-
this stuff is great. Not for challenges, not for putting in your hair, not for putting on your lips, anything like that.
Right.
Right? But just for what it's intended
Right.
uses.
Like, it's just, imagine you made mitts, right? Like mittens, right? Imagine that was your thing, right? Mittens. And then all of a sudden you get mitten up the butt guy. And you're like, well, what are you doing? And he's in the hospital for 48 hours trying to get a mitten out, right? And then, you just look at that mitten company and you're like, oh my God, their sales must be through the roof. And I'm like, but I don't want that sale. I don't want that. I don't want those margins.
Not from that publicity.
No, right?
All I want to do is make mittens. Keep your hands warm.
Thank you.
And you get a guy like this.
You got Valentine's Day coming up. I can't even kiss my old lady,
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So Valentine's Day is on Sunday. It is also the birthday of one of our favorite people in the entire world, Roz.
Who's that?
Former mayor of Mississauga, Hurricane Hazel Mcallion.
Oh, yeah, right.
She's turning 100.
Jeez.
And every single year, Dan Memorial gives her a call in anticipation of her Valentine's Day birthday to bother her with nonsense. And the one thing I love about Hazel is that she will answer every single question that Dan Memorial asks.
Hello.
Hazel Mcallion, how are you?
Very good.
Happy 100th birthday!
Yeah.
In case you didn't recognize my voice, it's Maury, and I call you every year for your birthday. Every year I ask you this. What flavor birthday cake do you want this year?
Chocolate.
See, I thought you would change it up this year. You said chocolate last year.
Yeah, no, that's my favorite, chocolate cake.
Okay, how does it feel to be turning 100 years old?
I don't feel any different than when I was 99 or 98.
What would a young Hazel Mcallion say to Hazel Mcallion turning 100?
Well, I don't know. What you're asking me, am I proud of myself?
I guess, yeah.
Well, I have no answer for that.
Oh, okay. Now, are you upset at all that this year, your 100th birthday, because you only turned 100 once, that there's a pandemic and you won't be able to have a big party?
No. I think a lot of people are disappointed that they can't have a party, but we have to go by the rules, and so it's a year of, I can assure you I'm lucky to be healthy and be alive.
What would you say has been your biggest accomplishment in 100 years?
There's no one big accomplishment. I mean, there's so many things. You don't pick out any one and say, there's a lot of important things happened during my life.
What age was your favorite?
I enjoy every age.
Are they going to put 100 birthday candles in your cake?
I don't know.
And what will your wish be when you blow out the candles?
Just to continue to have a good life, healthy life.
Can I sing happy birthday to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Happy birthday. You're not singing with me?
No.
Happy birthday to you.
You don't sing happy birthday to yourself.
Okay, but I'm singing it to you, so...
Yeah, well, you sing it to me, but I don't sing it to myself.
Well, you say Hazel at that point. Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear
Hazel.
Happy birthday to you. Yay. What do you say to a rabbit on its birthday?
I don't know.
Happy birthday.
Oh.
And what goes up but never comes down?
Don't know.
Your age. Amazing. Hazel, can I say that I absolutely love you, and I love that you let me call you every year?
Yeah, who is calling? I didn't get your name.
Oh, my name is Maury, and I'm with the Roz and Mocha Show. We talk every year, don't you remember?
No.
Oh, you
I'm
don't...
sorry, I get a lot of calls. I don't record them all in my mind. But...
Trust me, we talk every year.
Yeah.
Okay. I love you, Hazel.
Yeah. Okay.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Did you go back and watch episode 1 of Young Rock yet?
No.
Oh, dude, hurry up.
I know.
It's so good.
I got a lot going on, man.
It's so good. But it's not really a spoiler because it's in the trailer, in a lot of the trailers where the show kind of takes place in the future where The Rock is running for president.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets part of the way they blend all the stories together is that The Rock is being interviewed by Randall Park, who is still Randall Park, the actor that everybody knows, but is no longer acting and is now a broadcaster. Okay. So he does this one-on-one sit-down.
So meta.
With The Rock.
Yeah.
Right? As The Rock is on his presidential campaign.
Okay.
And then they start getting to know The Rock type of thing, whereas where all these stories come from. But The Rock sat down with USA Today because it was how long ago? A couple of years now? Where somebody had asked whether or not The Rock would run for president. He was like, yeah, sure, why not?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that topic came up again.
I would consider a presidential run in the future if that's what the people wanted. And I take a lot of pride in servicing the audience and the consumer and people. So I would wait and I would listen. I would have my finger on the pulse and my ear to the ground.
Now, one thing you had said back when the news had come out that The Rock would potentially consider running for president is that there's no way in hell he would.
No.
Because he wouldn't be able to deal with...
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. The Rock will never be president for the same reason that Oprah will never be president.
Right.
And that is they would... One, he's more powerful outside of the Oval Office than he is inside the Oval Office. That's fact. He has way more influence. But The Rock will never be president and Oprah will never be president because neither of them will ever order an airstrike.
Yeah.
They will never be the last person in a chain of command that says, yes, end lives for the greater good. They just wouldn't do it.
And I don't think that either of them could stand or would do well with public hatred.
No.
Because if you remember when The Rock came out and endorsed Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
It was vicious.
His mentions on Instagram, because he's just heavy on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Like the comments were just full of negativity and like everyone, all of his fans who were also Trump supporters going in on him.
Listen, the Rock has had a low-key rough ride the last little while. The Rock was getting hit really, really hard in the middle of a pandemic, still promoting his liquor, his tequila as hard as he was. The Rock was also during all of this. You remember when those workout videos where like people were in his gym, and that video with John Krasinski where they were like super close and sweating all over each other. Nobody's wearing a mask, and then he got COVID, and like the Rock has taken some heat over the last little while. But the interesting thing when he put his support behind Biden was that in one of the first things he said during that endorsement was that he has voted for all parties in the past. So he's not a lifetime Democrat. And up to that point, you really didn't know what the Rock's politics were. And I'm always on the line of, if you don't know what somebody's politics are in America, I assume you're Republican when you're famous, right? Otherwise, you let it be known that you're a Democrat. But he would never do it. He's too powerful outside of the office.
I don't think he would either.
And he's not that guy. He's not going to put himself in a position to just be absolutely hated. And also, up to this point, everything The Rock has done, he's done perfectly. And as soon as mistakes start being made, who wants to live in that world?
I know.
Who wants that kind of criticism? Because they don't ask you questions like fake Randall Park interviewing you does on your TV show. Like, they ask you real stuff, man.
Which, by the way, Randall Park is, like, he's quickly becoming one of my favorite actors.
Randall Park.
He's so good. Dude, did you know? I had no idea, because when the show was first starting to get promoted, and you see Randall Park is in it, right? All this love for Randall Park started popping up. And somebody posted a video that I had never seen before. And it was from almost 2 years now. I think he was promoting Always Be My Maybe on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, I love that movie.
And he went on this guy's YouTube channel, and this guy, whenever he has people on his channel, if they have skills on the mic, they will all get around the mic, put a beat on, and start freestyling.
Right.
Randall Park on the mic?
No. Really?
The baddest on the microphone apparatus is here. When I rock a rhyme, often eyes are dropping a tear. It's so beautiful, it's America's landscapes when this man makes lyrics like the syrups that you pour upon your pancakes. My mandate is to grip minds like a handshake. Spit Orlando Lakes and go skinny dip with the fan base. Over any damn breakbeat, I hastily make pastries tastier than anything that Wolfgang makes. So take notes out of suckers, I make coats. Lump of some like Bubba Gump, fishing on lake boats. I take jokes and turn the comedy into drama. I'm bagging on your mama, I'm Jeffrey Dahmer. Behind ya, I'm a rhyme writer. Lock, stock, smoking the ganja. Rebuttals befuddle, leaving a puddle of saliva, sillies. You couldn't handle Randall when I throw my grammar at you. It hit your head and you would think I threw a hammer at you. I point the camera at you like Herb Ritz. Develop it, then use the pictures to pick up bird. You're nervous as the impervious wordsmiths hanging out in Rafa's new crib come with the verses.
Wow.
Like, that's Randall Park.
Wow.
From the Young Rock, also killing it on WandaVision.
Wow.
Right?
That's incredible.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
Dim and Maury made some cold calls yesterday to folks across the country as part of Roz and Mocha's Quarantales. This is where Dim and Maury will start a story and have people that he randomly calls continue and eventually finish that story. Fill in the blanks. And with Valentine's Day coming up on Sunday, Dim and Maury wrote the first few lines of a love story.
Oh, excuse me.
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Fine. How are you?
I'm well. This is Maury with the Roz and Mocha Show, and it's time for another chapter of Roz and Mocha's Quarantales.
I haven't heard it before. What's that?
Okay, so everyone I randomly call randomly will add 4 lines to the story, okay? And today's theme is Valentine's Day.
Oh, Lord. I'll try.
Okay, here we go. His name was Roz. He was tall and looking for love. However, was grumpy all the time.
Today was no exception, as the rash on his derriere seemingly grew more bothersome with each Tinder swipe. The bar scene was just not the same this Valentine's Day. It was only last year that he had met this tall, elegant woman named Gary. With hands like an iron worker, she impressed him with her ability to open a lobster without claw crackers.
Wow.
Or other utensils, just those burly, rugged, calloused mitts. And then he wondered if she were the origin of this rash.
All right, I think your 4 lines are up there, buddy.
Or it could be that he's allergic to lobster. Then Roz thought to himself, why does love and lobster have to be so hard?
True.
To soothe a bit of his pain in his heart and in his backside, he decided to take a warm bubble bath, got a little carried away while swiping on Tinder, and his tub overflowed. Then he heard his pet raccoon
typing on the computer. Roz jumped out of the tub and headed straight to the living room. Helga, the raccoon, was scrolling Amazon. Roz screams out, "I've told you to stop ordering the pickle baskets. You haven't even finished the first 20." With water flooding the floor and baskets of pickles filling every nook and cranny of his house because of a pickle-obsessed raccoon, Roz was starting to lose all hope of finding that special love. Then there was a knock at the door.
All flustered from the chaos of his home, he quickly grabbed his favorite royal blue kimono, a gift from his mother and one that he cherished dearly, but wouldn't dare admit to anyone, much less wear it in the company of others. As he tied up his robe and opened his front door, there stood the back of what looked to be a tall, beautiful woman soaked from the rain. Could this be the rom-com Roz always wished his life could be? As she turned around, he finally caught a glimpse of her face, and...
Hello?
Hey, how are you?
Good. How about yourself?
Good. It's Maury with the Roz and Mocha Show, and it's another chapter in Roz and Mocha's Corin Tales.
Awesome.
I want to get you to end our story. How does that sound?
Works for me.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Anytime you're ready.
It turns out to be Pickle Patty, the pickle brine delivery lady, hand delivering a vat of brine to Helga the raccoon. It turns out she wanted to pickle Roz, thinking that would make him live forever.
Oh.
But what Helga didn't anticipate was when Roz and Pickle Patty's eyes met, they instantly fell in love, proving the fact that you will always find love when you least expect it. Now, Helga will get pickles anytime, and Roz found love, and it was a big deal.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
How's everybody's Valentine's Day?
Pretty good.
We didn't get to talk about it because it was a holiday.
Oh, so romantic.
Oh, was it, Maury?
Here we go.
Tell us about your Valentine's Day, Dan Maury.
Well, I presented Matthew with a dozen roses.
Mm-hmm.
Not actually roses, though, just pictures of Betty White.
Mm-hmm.
Because she played Rose.
Okay. How'd that go over?
And then we had like a steak dinner, and then I fell asleep on the couch.
So romantic.
Wow. What'd you guys do at home?
What did he give you?
Nothing.
Nothing. You guys don't do Valentine's Day?
I do.
Yeah. He's not into it?
No, he likes getting stuff I give him.
Right.
Like, he appreciates it.
Like the roses?
Yeah. No, he did not like that at all.
He didn't like that at all. So he didn't like anything you did then?
No.
Because that's all you did?
That's right.
So he appreciated nothing?
That's right.
Okay.
Now we get to the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
What did you guys do?
So it was awful.
Oh, and then he also caulked the bathroom tiles.
Caulked? Okay.
Uh-huh.
So he what?
He was caulking he recalked the shower.
Right. Okay.
Why do you say it like that?
Why do you say it like that?
CALK.
Yeah.
Cock.
How do you say talk?
Talk.
You don't
No,
say
but I
talk?
thought no, but I thought it was caulk.
Caulk. Okay.
I thought it was something they mined out of the fields.
Okay. You and me need to talk later about this. Mine was good. We do pizza and meatballs every year for Valentine's Day. So that's what we did. And then we hung out and watched a movie. I gave Catherine flowers. Catherine gave me flowers.
Oh, sweet.
We did some cards. It's difficult because like you can't do anything, right? Like it's just everything is just sort of the way it is. But no, we just hang out and cuddle on the couch and just love each other and all that stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's good. Like it's fine. Like it's nothing is perfect right now, but I think that what we're all just very used to is just absolutely making the best of it. Like I the expectations are anything is going to be awesome.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
and it's so easy to let something like Valentine's Day go simply because you can't go out and you can't walk into a store and buy something cool, and ordering something online is just going to take for like all of this stuff. But I think that if everybody in your house is on the same page of it's got to happen, doesn't matter what it looks like, but we can't let this slide.
Yeah.
Then I think that you're in good shape, and we had a good Valentine's Day.
I also made hot apple cider on the stove.
Yeah,
like with mulling spices.
Yeah, how'd that turn out? He hated that too, I bet, didn't he?
No, it was fine, but his argument was there wasn't enough for 2 cups.
Okay.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
My thumb is still numb from my steering wheel.
From your steering
It
wheel?
was so cold.
Oh.
And the way that I drive is my thumb doesn't hook around the steering wheel. My thumb rests on the steering wheel in front of me. Right? Like
your left- what is that, your left hand?
make a thumbs up sign.
Yeah.
Right? Point it straight forward. So your thumb is up.
Yep.
Now turn your hand to the side so the thumb
Yeah.
is pointing off to the side.
Yeah.
And then open your fingers and grab the wheel, but leave your thumb there.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I drive. Right?
Like this.
Yeah. So my thumb is frozen. Like my
Oh.
thumb is still numb right now.
You don't ever do the move where you put one hand under your leg as you're driving just to warm that hand up, and then you switch?
No, I can't. I can't drive with the other hand.
You can't drive with your right hand?
No.
That's so weird, but you're
No,
right-handed.
only my right hand. Like I can't drive with only my right hand.
No, but at red lights, you can put your hands between your legs to warm them up.
Yeah, no, it's true. I can do that. But these skinny legs, it's like they take a long time to warm up, just as long as the car does. No, I learned how to drive. Listen, man. Okay, I learned everything I know about driving because I got my license very late in life.
3 years ago, right?
Okay, yeah. So I got my license very late in life, and you have to understand that my knowledge and practice of driving a car up to that point where I learned the sort of rules about cornering and when to accelerate, when to brake, all that stuff came from playing Gran Turismo.
Oh, no.
Okay?
Yeah. So when to accelerate is all the time?
Yes.
When to brake, it's barely.
But Gran Turismo, you steer with your left when you're on PlayStation.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm used to steering with my left.
Oh, wow.
And so when I'm in the car, my left hand is the dominant hand that I steer with, not my right.
So crazy,
even
dude.
though I'm right-handed. Yeah, like for me, I steer a vehicle with my left because that is because that
Have you ever just tried just to see what it feels like?
it doesn't feel good.
Oh, wow.
At all.
It's awkward.
Like only using my right. Like if I'm only going to use one hand, it is 100% of the time my left, just because I learned how to drive on Gran Turismo.
I'm surprised that all the times I've driven you didn't watch and learn from me.
No, that's not going to happen. No, I had already knew the mechanics.
Yeah.
Right? Like Gran Turismo, the later editions of Gran Turismo will teach you how to drive a car because they taught me how to drive a car. Right? I got behind the wheel when I started taking young drivers and we were on the road. I was sitting there so blown away because I'm like, this is exactly Gran Turismo. Okay? Like video games, when they started getting really, really advanced with like the weight of the car and how it feels in a corner and all that stuff, that's how I learned to drive a car. Young drivers was a formality at that point.
Have you played the new Gran Turismo?
No.
Okay. So I bought it.
Yeah.
And like I gave it 2 attempts.
Yeah.
I still haven't done a race because I'm still I haven't got
Trying
my
to get a
driver's
license.
license.
Yeah, it's
you have to
very
get your
difficult.
driver's license
I'm telling
in all the latest Gran Turismo
Yes.
before you can actually play the game.
Yes, and that's the problem, and that's why Gran
Boring.
Turismo is the greatest thing in the world because it taught me how to drive a car. Right now that I have a license, I don't need Gran Turismo anymore.
Only with your left hand.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Yo, my guy, Michael B. Jordan. Did you see how we spent Valentine's Day with his girlfriend, Lori Harvey? Steve Harvey's daughter?
What do you do? Probably something fabulous, huh?
Bro, this is crazy. Did you see any of this?
No, I didn't.
Because Lori Harvey was trending all yesterday and last night.
Yeah.
Because their Valentine's Day on Sunday, like she recorded a bunch of stuff and then posted about it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
This guy making everybody look and feel bad. Okay, I'm going to show you the video. What Michael B. Jordan did was rent out an aquarium. And they had dinner. And he had the place just decorated, full out with roses and candles. And what you're seeing here is a table set up at the end of a
very end.
long hallway.
And it's one of those it's one of those hallways where it's a glass top, so like the fishes are swimming all around you and stuff like that. Man, this Lori Harvey really brings out the best in dudes, huh? They go all out.
Like, look at all this. And apparently he also, on top of this, what he did at the aquarium, he also bought her stock in that company, Hermes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And see, he didn't just buy her an Hermes scarf, he bought her stock in Hermes.
He bought her stock, yeah.
It's a baller move.
Right? Look at this room. Just
It's a baller move.
candles and flowers everywhere.
Wow, man. It's a lot of work.
And they've only been dating for, I mean, at least publicly, it was only announced like, I think around U.S. Thanksgiving was when they announced it. But the reaction to Michael B. renting out an aquarium on Twitter.
It's not even real.
Oh, by the way, you want to know what was on the menu?
Yeah.
Seafood.
Yeah. You ate seafood at an aquarium under fish watching you eat seafood? That ain't right.
Here's the comment. Man, that's some savage stuff, bro. Rent an aquarium to eat fish in front of fish.
Yeah, dude. That's not
Michael
right.
B is a straight gangster. Somebody wrote, wow, he went all out. I wonder what kind of gift she gave him that would even match this or how he could top this next year. That's the high bar. Somebody replied to, I wonder what kind of gift she gave him. He got a pair of socks.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, did you see everybody freaking out over Shawn Mendes?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
With the feet?
With the feet, right?
Because I think it was a photo of him and Camila Cabello.
Yeah, they're sitting outside.
And he kissed her feet.
And the two of them are in the shot, and he grabbed her foot, and he's kissing like her big toe, like the bottom of her big toe.
And he said, because I love you, I kiss your feet.
Right. Everybody's freaking out because for a lot of people, feet are gross.
Yeah.
Right?
They are, but whatever.
Like for a lot of people, feet are gross. But for me, I saw that and I'm like, my God, this is like a lovely thing. I kiss everything. Yeah. I'll kiss the foot. I don't care what it is. I'll kiss it.
I didn't think
I have no
that
problem
there was
with
anything
that.
wrong with that photo.
Oh, people went. People,
they're in love.
No,
you
it's
know.
just, it's about feet though. It's
People just don't
some
like
people don't go near the
See,
feet.
I'm not a foot person. I'd kiss my wife's feet. I
Yeah?
give her a little foot massage every now and then.
Yeah.
Right? But even like that picture, it didn't bother me.
No, but you kiss the foot. You kiss the foot, right? You kiss
Have
the
I?
foot?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I kiss the foot all the time.
Yes.
I love kissing the foot. Maury, you kiss the foot?
I'll kiss the foot. My husband my feet have to be covered in front of him.
So Matthew will not kiss the foot.
Kiss, touch, nothing.
Nothing. When's the last time he rubbed your feet?
When I rubbed them against him.
like an itchy bear and he's the tree?
Like on purpose or by accident?
No, on purpose.
Like he's never just reached over, grabbed your foot and give you a
No,
little
I did
like a
it
little
because I'm
foot
like, you
rub.
won't touch my feet. Look, I'm rubbing them on you. And he's like, ew.
Right, so he's not into feet, so he won't touch
No.
it. See, that a lot of people have that foot thing, man. Even if it's somebody like Michael B. Jordan, even after eating fish in front of fish, if
Yeah,
you have a
savage
foot thing,
move.
you're not going near the feet, right?
The Roz and Mocha Show
podcast.
So Claire and Dale were spotted in Florida together.
Did I see a picture of them like holding hands too?
Yeah, they're walking across the street together and stuff.
Going where?
Venice, Florida
Divorce
on Tuesday. Weeks. They're not even married. Just weeks after publicly announcing their breakup.
You think it was on purpose?
They were. I think everything is on purpose. But then again, what if you are just legitimately walking from the car to the bar? Like you could say that that's on purpose, but it's also necessity. Like if you're seen, you're seen. There wasn't a ton. I'm going through eyewitness accounts here.
Oh.
They didn't seem to display a whole lot of PDA. That's
Okay.
public displays of affection, by the way.
Yes.
In case you didn't know.
Okay.
Okay. What?
I knew that.
Did you though?
Everybody knows PDA.
They did show. There was one picture where they were holding hands, though.
Oh.
So whatever.
They're back together.
I guess trying to make it work. I don't know.
I don't believe it.
You don't believe it at
No,
all.
I think that because when you see the photos, it's a pretty busy intersection that they
Yeah.
were crossing.
Yeah.
I think they were out in public to be seen.
Okay. But
Which
to be
is fine.
but what's the motive then? To be seen
To show that they don't hate each other. Because everything that happened that took place was so public and so separate. There were different accounts from each one of them.
Right.
So I think that this was for them to show that they're cool now.
But what? So who benefits from that though?
I guess they
Do you think that maybe they just want to move on and make some money?
Yeah,
and then
it's
it's
just
easier if they just show like you. So you think that they
solidarity.
both like you think that she flew from He flew from New York and she flew from California just so they could hold hands walking across the street. And she flew from California to Florida and he went from New York to Florida just so they can like take a picture together.
Yes.
You do. Jesus. You're one of these people. You're not the only person I know that like denounces most conspiracy theories in life, except for when it comes to reality television.
Let me see here.
Where your radar is just so dialed in to conspiracies when it comes to The Bachelor and other reality TV.
Okay.
Like, to me, that seems excessive.
Does it say we're in Florida?
Venice.
So let me just do a quick Google search. Busiest intersection in...
Okay. Jesus.
Venice.
Listen, man, they were just out. Like, they're just walking across the street. Like, they're not even dressed. Like, he's not even wearing a shirt that says Dale on it.
Was she wearing one that said Claire?
No, she's not.
Are you sure?
Okay, yes. No, they both look great, though.
Yeah.
They both look
happy?
dynamite. And people, and
Maybe
like,
it's for real. I don't know,
and people
man.
were hollering at them and they didn't even really wave. Like, they didn't acknowledge. Like, you know, if somebody was like, hey, it's Claire and Dale, they weren't like waving, yes, it's us.
Like
they
not a, hey,
didn't-
how you doing?
No,
Thanks
nothing
for
like
watching
that.
the
Yeah,
show?
they were just being super
Celebrity
cash.
douches,
and
huh?
maybe they thought, you know, the two of them going to Florida, you know, maybe they wouldn't get noticed. You know, kind of like neutral ground. And
Isn't Florida a hotspot for COVID?
yeah,
Why would they be there?
everywhere's a hot spot for COVID.
I know,
Well,
but
because
still.
you can still live a life in Florida. You can still go around, and they're not wearing masks, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Oh, they're getting COVID for real.
Yeah, stop it.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
One of my favorite shows is Workin' Moms, and they return for season 5 tonight at 9 o'clock on CBC and CBC Gem. Catherine Reitman not only is the creator, but star of the show, writer of the show. Catherine Reitman, welcome back to the Roz and Mocha Show. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing great.
We are so starved for new things, and I'm sure you are too. I mean, you got a house full, and you got to live a life outside of filming a TV show, but this has to feel a little bit different, bringing people new stuff in a time when people really, really, really need new stuff, huh?
Yeah, you know it is, and we had in the writers' room this moment where we're like, do we show COVID working moms, or do we just give the audience the show that they're familiar with? And for me, selfishly, I would want to go back to what I was used to, watching women break that glass ceiling, put on skirt suits, and, be badasses. That sounds like a better escape than watching women in masks right now for me.
Thank you so much. I love that you guys made the decision to not do a COVID season because
Yeah.
I have such a hard time. I love Grey's Anatomy. I can't watch Grey's Anatomy. I don't want to watch a COVID
Right.
show.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch a COVID show.
Right.
So thank you
It's
so much for doing
true.
that.
And it's, right now we need something to laugh at. I mean, even if it's too real, I need something to laugh at. I can't watch more COVID story. It's just, it feels never ending right now.
I know what makes me laugh on the show. I know what makes my wife laugh on the show. When you are writing this, or even when you're filming, what makes you, the creator of Workin' Moms, what makes you laugh when you watch the show? Or you?
Well, when I'm not laughing at how ridiculous I look, which is generally how I feel, it's largely based on real moments that have happened to me as a working mother. So it's, all those awkward moments when you're, it takes me back to Curb Your Enthusiasm, when you watch Larry interact with someone and he's actually saying how the audience feels about, oh, God, teacher, would you give my kid a break? Or, oh, my God, boss, would you please cut me some slack? Or, those real moments are what tickle me.
So what's the drama this season? What can you tease?
Oh, man. It's end of season 4. Anne took off to Calgary. And can Kate and Anne's friendship survive long distance? Which, of course, is the big season-long arc for Kate and Anne. And
Yeah, I didn't like that, by the way. You're breaking up the crew. I don't like that, Catherine.
Mocha didn't like
You
that.
don't like it?
No, I didn't like that.
I was upset. I was like, oh, man, give me like one more episode and like bring her back or something. Like that wasn't, I don't know, not cool. I took that very personal, Catherine.
You got to tune in. Look, I know what you want. I know what you want. And if we get there, it'll be so much sweeter to see them have to. And look, a lot of people are dealing with long-distance friendships, even within their own city right now.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't see my friends at all anymore. And that support system is gone. Can you still function and operate as a working mother or working father without it? So I think it'll touch home for you. I hope so.
So did you guys have to do, because you wrote the show, you wrote this season during COVID, and much like everybody else in the world having meetings over Zoom, is that how you guys had to do like your table reads and stuff like that before actually going into filming?
Absolutely. And it's weird, right? I mean, I'm sure you guys have felt it on Zoom. Like the comedic timing doesn't work.
Yeah.
If two people talk at the same time, you can't hear each other. Like there's just things lost in Zoom that happens live. And that we had to change a lot of stuff on the floor when we started shooting because we were just like, oh, this is how it sounds when people talk in real life.
Yeah, because we figured that out on this show because we've been doing this show in the studio since COVID started. We haven't missed a day in the studio. We were fortunate. We were fortunate that the way that the place is set up that we could come in and do the show. And what you realize is that so much happens in the room, especially when you're doing comedy. And I want to know, like, because you just touched on it, on trying to be funny over Zoom, and it's very difficult. So when you guys all got back together and were able to stand there, did you all simultaneously realize that, oh my God, it is so different when we're all in the room together?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's just a chemistry. There's literally an energy thing that's happening live where you're seeing, feeling. Even look, we block the scenes, which means we just say, okay, you're going to stand here during this line, then you're going to go over there and turn the sink on or whatever. And as we're blocking, we all have masks on. And then when we go to shoot, we take our masks off, just the actors do, to perform the scene. And I realize when they say action that I haven't seen my acting partner's whole face.
Yeah.
Until the camera's rolling. And I'm like, oh, wait, that's what so you feel this way in the scene. Like there's all sorts of chemistry happening live that we didn't realize was happening until often too late. And then I go, okay, on this next take, actually, I didn't know you felt this way. And you have to reorder the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm afraid after COVID, I'm going to have to get Botox, and I've never wanted Botox because for the past year, the only way I smile at people now is raising my eyebrows.
God. I know.
like my
overly accentuating squinted eyes.
Yes.
It just completely showcases my what are those wrinkles called? What is it, crow's feet?
Yes.
It's the worst.
There's a lot of my lips are my best featured people who've had a very bad year.
But you know what? For those of us who have very weird mouths, I'm kind of in my sweet spot.
There you go.
All you're seeing is my eyes, which it might be how I should just continue functioning.
Catherine Reitman, we love you so much. Working Mom Season 5 tonight at 9 on CBC and CBC Gem. Just a request from me as a fan.
Yes.
Moving forward with future episodes, could you please consult with me as to what the ending of that episode would be like to see if I like approve, even for like a season finale or something?
Oh, only the season finale then, right?
No,
that's not a big ask or anything.
I am willing to make a deal, but you have to hear my terms. My terms are simple. I need air horn at the end of this interview.
Oh,
absolutely. I will give you all the air horn you need, Catherine Reitman. We love you so
that's
much.
What I want. You know it's what I want.
Catherine Reitman, again, Working Mom Season 5 tonight, 9 o'clock on CBC.
Drop that horn. Bye.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast. Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
Update.
Yo, Anastasia, welcome back to the Roz and Mocha Show. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. So it was only a couple weeks ago that we talked to you. And your story, oh my God, it was so petty as hell.
People loved your Fix My Life segment. And just to recap, people, you had bought a friend a Christmas present. And before Christmas, you guys ended up in a huge fight because you had worn, I don't even know. Anyway, so you bought her a shirt for Christmas and you wanted to give her the shirt because you also wrote a note. But what you were really pissed off was not so much the loss of the friendship, was the fact that she bought you a pair of harem pants for Christmas and you were worried that you weren't going to get the $30 harem pants that she had given you, that she bought for you for Christmas.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. She's like, yeah, that's basically it.
Okay.
So one of the things that Roz had mentioned, and it was brilliant, great advice, is that, hey, just be the bigger person, and why not just, if you already have the gift, just drop it off at her place, and then maybe that will, open the door to the two of you talking and maybe rekindling that friendship, or at least you being the bigger person, give her the Christmas gift that you got for her.
Yeah, so I did that. And so basically, she messaged me on Facebook after, and she said, "Oh my God, dude, your drawing made me cry a little bit."
Oh, really?
Okay. So you drew a picture and put it in with the gift. And what was the picture again?
So basically, it was like a cartoon version of me and her.
Yeah.
And like she has like this really cool like anime tattoo, and I drew it really like detailed and stuff. Like I
Right.
put a lot of work into that, you know.
Okay.
So whatever, she messaged me. She said, "Oh yeah, your picture made me cry." I was like, "I'm glad you liked it." She's like, "I did." I asked how things were. We talked about work, and then I remembered what you said about the whole "I told you so" thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I apologized. I was like, "Hey, sorry for the whole "I told you so." Like I didn't mean for it to come out that way.
Right, because part of the story is that your friend ended up hooking up with her roommate, which you warned against. You said, like, don't do that. And then things didn't work out, which is why you said, I told you so.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this girl, she wants to say, "Oh, hey, wow, look, you apologized."
Yeah. Let me guess. I didn't rub you the right way.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, whatever. Excuse me. It's still your fault." Anyway.
Also, I told you so.
Also, I told you so.
And then she's like, "Hey, I missed you. We should go grab burgers soon." And I was like, "Yeah, probably not." And but, like the thing is, like she didn't even reassure me about the pants or anything. Like really.
Yo, so you're not even getting them harem pants that you wanted?
No, like not even a reassurance. Like,
Did you ask her about the pants?
no, I was just hoping she'd bring it up. Like, "Oh yeah, like and I double checked on your gift. It should be in soon." Nothing.
So you were the bigger person. Okay,
Yeah.
You were the bigger person. You dropped off the gift and the card, which she wrote you back saying that it really moved her and she loved. And then you just wanted to clarify the situation, and then she took your clarification and said, "Thanks for saying sorry," which then pissed you off. And then she said, "We should go out for burgers," and then you said no. So are you back to like, now you're still pissed off at her, you still have no harem pants, but she has the shirt you got her?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I'm pantsless.
And you're pantsless.
Wait, Anastasia, if I remember correctly, the last time we talked to you, didn't you say like you didn't even really like the girl anyway?
Like, no, it's not like, okay, I liked her at first, right? She was nice.
Yeah.
We started to go out, and like I just didn't like the way she like talked to people and like the way she communicated. Like it just made me feel weird. Like it didn't, like I'm not that kind of person,
No.
So like how do I tell a person I don't like their attitude towards people? Like you just don't. You just kind of fall off,
Yeah.
At least that's what I do. Like I just kind of fade into the back, try to disappear. But she didn't let that happen, and like she just kept wanting me to like text her all the time and whatever.
But now she's out of your life officially, right? You already said no to going out for burgers with her.
I mean, yeah, but like now I still have no pants. Like what the hell?
Yo, why don't you just buy the pants yourself? At this point, you're better off just buying the pants yourself.
Really? I mean, my birthday is coming up. I might just do that.
Okay, I'm sure that, listen, if there's anybody listening right now who wants to buy Anastasia the GD harem pants, okay, and how much are they? They're what? They're $30?
$30, yeah.
They're about $30.
Okay, DM us right now, and I'm not saying that we're going to set up some sort of like sugar baby situation. Anastasia's not going to be obligated to do anything for the harem pants. Let's just make that perfectly clear. But if somebody does sympathize with your situation, or who maybe just identifies because they too are petty as hell, just hit us up in the DMs and we'll hook you guys up together.
All right, on.
Okay.
Thanks,
That'll make
Anastasia.
my life. Thanks, guys.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
On Kiss.
I want to get your opinion on whether something that went viral is legit or if it's a made-up story designed to go viral.
Okay.
Valentine's Day was over the weekend, and there is a woman who claims to be a hotel manager telling a story of how a distraught wife came into the lobby of her hotel looking to find her cheating husband.
Oh.
And so this is the story that the hotel manager told through TikTok. Listen to this.
She walks into the hotel and she quickly explains to me that her husband has been cheating on her. She knows that he is currently at my hotel with the woman, and she wanted to know what room number he was in. Unfortunately, I could not tell her because of privacy reasons. And rightly so. She could have been lying to me. She could have been the other woman, I don't know. So I checked her into the room right next to the room that her husband was in. The walls were kind of thin. It was actually kind of sad, and that's why I purposely left it out. She did hear her husband in the next room, and she left kind of sad, but she did thank me before she left.
Legit or not legit?
Could be true, but my question before this woman said, I had the exact same thought, which is, how do we know that this was the wife and not the side piece?
Right. You don't.
You don't. I believe it. Sure. Why not? Why
Yeah.
couldn't that happen?
Yeah.
I understand hotels have to have, privacy for their
But
guests.
what is the need to just get up on people's business, though? What is the? I don't.
No, but this person, she didn't do anything.
understand.
You don't know the emotion that must have been involved in that
there's-
interaction.
But
in
there's
that
a piece of
conversation,
the
right?
story that's missing,
Which is
okay, is that this woman showed up. Okay, and this is one of the reasons why I think that because there's a very huge piece of the story missing, and one of the reasons why I think it's crap.
Okay, tell me.
Okay, so the woman showed up saying, "I think my husband is in this hotel."
Yes.
What room is he in? And then she says, "I can't give you that kind of information." Then there's a gap where she says, "But I did check her into the room right next to her husband's." What was the conversation where the woman who was simply looking for the room that her husband was in to then deciding that she was also going to check into a room? She didn't go there looking for a hotel room.
No,
she
but
went there
maybe-
looking for her husband.
Maybe this person telling
So-
the story and didn't say it in the story. I then gave her the option. Hey, by the way, I have a room available that may or may not be beside.
But then you're going against everything she said that she couldn't do.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right?
I don't know.
That's why I'm so skeptical over things, because there's
But
a massive piece of information missing
Sure, the
from this
full
story that
conversation.
went viral, which is how did the wife wind up in a room? It's not even how did she wind up in the room next to her husband, because that can easily be done. But how did she wind up in a room when she simply went there looking to track down her husband? She wasn't looking to get a room. How
I don't know.
did that happen?
I kind of believe it.
You
I
do
kinda
believe it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
don't
kind of
know.
believe it.
I don't know, man. Also, why you got to be in people's business like that? Stop being so busy. You know what I mean?
Damn, bro.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Podcast. Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is. Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Andrew, welcome to the Roz and Mocha Show. How are you?
I'm doing okay, guys. How are you?
Good, buddy. So what's going on with you?
I'm in the middle of an argument over chores with my wife.
Oh, yeah. So you said this, that you have an understanding, you and your wife, that you do the floors because a dirty floor keeps you up at night. And her part of the chores is cleaning the bathroom. But it comes down to this. If you do the floors and she does the bathroom, is the bathroom floor on your chore list or on her chore list?
That's right.
Interesting.
When was the last time you guys argued about this?
Literally last Friday.
Oh, okay.
So it's a fresh argument.
What was the conclusion to that argument? Who did what?
Right now, it's still dirty.
Holding out, huh?
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
So we're at a standstill. I'd love to give you guys more details before you prestigious judges sort of weigh in, if that's okay.
Okay, please do. Yes.
So in our house, we have 2.5 bathrooms. And we have a tiny little powder room and then 2 full bathrooms. But we also have 3 full floors that I sweep, sticky mop, vacuum, and then polish afterwards. And I do the stairs.
So you're doing, geez, that's a lot of work right there, doing 3 floors and polishing and vacuuming. And I don't even know what a sticky mop is, but it sounds difficult.
Okay, boomer.
Oh,
Sticky mop.
Jesus. I was just about to
sticky
take
mop's
your
kind of
side,
like-
man.
A sticky mop's kind of like a giant, lint roller that picks up, some pet hair and some dust. and things like that.
I actually don't care. Okay, which is the Gen X in me coming out. Okay, I really don't. I don't care about anything you have to say. But I will say this: you seem like you do a lot of work. That seems like those floors take a long time to sort of get going. But your obsessiveness doesn't necessarily factor in. Like, I know that you think that you're not going to sleep at night if the floors are dirty, okay? Do they need to be cleaned as often and as well as you do? Probably not, but you do that because you're obsessive. Now, I will say this. When it comes to the bathroom, if you're dealing with, 3 bathrooms and one is a powder room, geez, man, I would say that, yes, when you're doing all the other floors, then the floor is considered to be part of the bathroom job. But if you're doing the floors anyway, why are you stopping at the bathroom door?
Because to me, there's like an imaginary barrier between the bathroom floor and the regular floor. The second that you cross over that threshold for the doorway, that's considered the bathroom.
Do you clean the floors the same day that your wife cleans the bathroom?
Yes.
They're always on the same day?
Yes.
Who does the floors in the bedrooms?
I do.
Why?
Because that's not part of the bathroom. Therefore, I clean the floors in the bedroom.
Yeah, but hold on now, though. You're being very bathroom specific. I don't think that your argument of, that's not floor, that's bathroom floor is falling apart, because what this comes down to is you just don't want to do it out of spite.
Interesting take.
Why? Because he's right? See, I feel 2 ways about it, Andrew. I feel that if your wife is cleaning the bathroom on a day that you are not cleaning the floors, then she should then clean the floors in the bathroom. If you guys are cleaning the entire home on the same day, like if you have all the tools out, you got all the equipment out to clean the floors, then you might as well clean the bathroom floors as well. Well, you have all that stuff out.
You're doing it out of spite. There is no there's an imaginary line between the hallway and the bath. That doesn't exist, man. You're doing this out of spite. And you feel like you're doing too much. And instead of saying, honey, I feel that I'm doing way more than you are when it comes to what I do on the floors compared to what you do in the bathrooms, the least you can do is do the bathroom floor. That's a conversation that you actually want to have, but you're talking about semantics, which you're not going to. You're just not going to get anywhere, because you don't actually want to argue that point. The point you want to argue is, I'm doing too much.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't even say that to her.
No,
you know why?
I'm not saying that's the right thing to say.
No.
I'm saying this is just what he's not saying.
And here's why, Andrew, because then she's going to run down the list of everything that she does that you don't even think twice about.
I know. They're just going to start keeping score.
Yeah,
like how you're keeping score right now.
Yeah, you're already keeping score, man.
Fine.
Right. Okay. Well, I would suggest this. Why don't you, instead of being obsessive about the floors one day, here's what's going to go over really, really well. And I think that the only real way to sort of come to an agreement is I think that you need to count square footage.
Wow, you really want to get specific, huh?
Okay. And how many square feet you've cleaned versus how many square foot she's cleaned.
Right. That'll help.
Yeah, well, I guarantee your marriage is going to be stronger after that conversation.
At least you have a clean house.
For sure.
Does that help, Andrew?
It does. Before you guys let me go, can I make a quick suggestion?
Sure.
When it comes to expanding your who's your favorite question, I think that you guys should expand it to like including your favorite guest host or your supporting characters like Janet Matthew and Catherine and Jenna and Cruz Roxy and Shem, or even your favorite Roz and Mocha pet like Tig, Moo and Andy.
Do you honestly think that I want people who are having difficult times at homes with their wives to come on this show and say that Catherine's their favorite?
Well, for the record, my answer is Tig and Shemosaurus Rex. I love Shem.
Okay, that's great. Listen, man, go take care of your marriage. Okay, mind your business. Okay, let us do the show, and then you go and fix your house.
Okay, boomers, we'll do.
Thanks, Andrew.
See you, man.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life
on Kiss.
Jesse, welcome to the Roz and Mocha Show.
Hello, how are y'all doing today?
Good, man. How are you?
Not too bad.
So you texted and said that you might have a way to solve my nightmare issues. And it's going to sound stupid, but you feel
Very
that
much so,
it's going to help me. So as you know,
Yes.
everybody, I have frequent night terrors. And I wake up screaming, or my wife has to wake me because I'm mumbling around and then I'll scream. But in my dream, I'm screaming. In real life, it's more of like a loud moan where it's like, "Mah, ah." right? And it happens during the day too. If I ever take a nap on the couch, can I tell you guys?
Day terrors.
Before we continue, Jesse, the latest one actually happened last night.
You had a night terror last night.
Mm-hmm. And as I just said seconds ago, where in my dream I'm screaming, in real life it's more of a loud moan.
Yeah.
When Jenna woke me,
Yeah.
this dream, freaking, I can't even say, this dream was so messed up. And I guess I was like moving around in the bed and like making noise. So then Jenna, I think she put her hand on my arm to wake me up.
Yeah.
And I jumped up out of bed and with like a full scream. Like it was
Do you remember what it was, though? You do.
And it was so dumb. I don't even want to tell you guys the story. It was so dumb. But when she touched my arm and woke me up, she woke me up. It was literally like this, guys. It was like such a sharp scream that even the dog was laying on the ground next to the bed on my side.
Yeah.
When I jumped up and screamed, he literally jumped up from where he was and was sitting there looking at me like, WTF, bro?
Okay, so I'm going to say this. I have 100% every single time in my life regretted asking the question to
Yes.
somebody. But what was the dream about?
So from what I remember, I was like in this dark parking garage. And there were these like military or police officers, but they were also bad guys. And they were looking for somebody. And I knew where this person was hiding. So I'm arguing with them. And then I go into this room where this person is hiding.
Okay.
And here's the ridiculous thing. The person who was hiding was Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things. It was 11 from Stranger Things.
Okay.
So I go into this room to tell her that it's safe and to follow me and then we can get out of there.
Yeah.
And in the corner of the room, there was all this, and I had been in the room before and there was nothing else in there, right? There was like filing cabinets and stuff. But then as we were leaving, in the corner of the room, there was all the newspaper kind of piled up, and I had no idea where it came from. And it looked to me like somebody was hiding underneath that newspaper.
Okay.
And as I was about to approach the newspaper is when the lights cut out in the room, and that's the point when I screamed, and Jenna like woke me up.
Okay, that is not terrifying at all. You know what? You know when your mom used to tell you when you were a little kid, don't watch that, it's going to give you nightmares?
Uh-huh.
Jenna needs to say that to you now as an adult.
Do you know what I watched before I went to bed last night?
What?
An episode of The Office. So I wasn't watching anything
No,
scary.
but I think that maybe it's like you've been in a cult. I think maybe it's going to take years to cleanse you of all the awful things that you've watched. Like I really do. I think that you're looking at long-term recovery.
You know what I was thinking about just like the other day? You remember the movie Hereditary?
Yes.
Yeah. So the ending of that movie is so messed up. So I don't know if that was like stuck in my brain.
No, but you
because I was
also
I was like thinking about the ending of that movie.
You
again
also
just the other
finish
day.
this show and you have sometimes like a 40-minute drive home and you'll listen to murder podcasts,
Oh yeah, there's that too.
right? Like
Yeah.
just stop with that.
I know. All right,
It's not good for
so
you.
Jesse,
You can't handle it.
how are you gonna help me out, bro?
It's going to sound even more stupid now after you go into that whole thing. But I used to have the same problems as a kid, like bad nightmares, waking up screaming. And over the course of years, I trained myself to wake myself up by literally opening my eyes.
Oh, I can't do
yeah.
that, man.
See, I told you it was going to sound stupid.
No,
after you
but
went into
I'll
the
tell
whole
you this.
thing.
I'll tell you this. Sometimes in my dreams, right? Sometimes I know that I'm dreaming, and in my dream,
okay, yeah.
I will say to myself, "Wake up," or I will make a noise in my dream to wake myself up. But the problem is, when I make that noise in my dream, it's the noise that I'm making in real life, which is.
Okay. Do you remember Inception? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, you need to sleep on a chair that's on a slight angle. And as soon as you make that noise, Jenna needs to give you need to introduce a kick into your sleep schedule where you get the sense of falling and it wakes you up. You need to mess with your inner ear. Like that I think that's what you need. You can't sleep in the bed anymore.
Last night was the funniest though.
Now listen to this guy's advice. Now this guy wants you to start training yourself to do things differently in your dreams now. Like this is like
I don't know, man.
you can't. It's too deep.
I'm messed up.
No, it's
but
too
last night was
deep.
the first time where it was a full-on scream. It was like,
No.
ah!
Okay. Okay.
It's only going to get worse for me.
Yeah, you're not in a good way, man. You're not in a good way.
Thanks for trying to help, Jesse.
Sorry.
That's okay, man.
The Roz and Mocha Show
podcast.
Tyler Posey. Do you know who Tyler Posey is?
No.
From Teen Wolf MTV?
The only thing I watch on MTV is Jersey Shore.
Okay, so Teen Wolf was on MTV, and fans still wanted to come back. It's one of these shows that the fans just will not go away because they just loved it so much.
Yeah.
So he's one of the sort of bigger names on OnlyFans.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. And he did an interview with E! talking about what life, I guess, at his level of notoriety, but also trying to break out on OnlyFans was like.
OnlyFans is bizarre. I kind of want to like talk about it at some point. It's really sort of like mentally draining. Like you really feel like an object on OnlyFans. I'm trying to my hardest to be as like artistic as possible with the content that I put out. Because I don't want it to be just like porn, you know? Because that's not what I do. I don't want to take it away from the people that are doing that kind of stuff. Just want to be artistic and stay in touch with my fans. And where I draw the line, if I'm going to be like somewhat nude, I want to not take myself seriously and just be kind of funny.
So
he obviously misses the entire point of what OnlyFans is.
It's like
right?
OnlyFans is weird. You really feel objectified on there.
Yeah.
That's the
Bro, you want to start a blog? Just start a blog, right? Go on Tumblr. OnlyFans is not that.
Maury pointed out that you can follow him for free, correct?
Which I am now.
And but the sort of risque nudes that are available are what, $10 each? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So if you want to see those, you have to click to buy those specific photos. All
Right.
the other ones are him shirtless on a motorcycle or him playing pool shirtless. Like the ones that are free, his pants are on.
Okay. What a world, huh?
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
You sound so disappointed
I
right
know.
now.
What a
I
world.
am.
What a world. Jeez, man, it's so wild. I didn't know who this guy was though, because I never watched Teen Wolf, but he's
Huge
got
following,
a
this guy.
huge following, like massive following. Can you see how many followers people have on OnlyFans, or is that stuff private only for the
Let me go check for
content
research.
creator?
Yeah.
Go back to Tyler Posey's OnlyFans one more time. How many times you been on Tyler Posey's OnlyFans since the show started? What? It's open. You just have to open my phone.
God.
I'm always on it. I haven't left.
How many
I went on
followers?
it once.
I don't know if you can tell.
You can't tell, huh? You should do an OnlyFans more.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay, Tyler Posey
Did you
has...
see? Look at. What would your content
okay,
be?
so one photo, I can't tell how many people are following him, but his most recent photo has 603 likes, 23 comments, and a $5 tip.
You can see how much people tip. That's so invasive.
Cheapskates.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
There's a guy in Tennessee who got charged after the cops said that he forged former President Barack Obama's name on an application for a handgun permit.
Come on.
Like, of all the names you're going to use, right? To try to fake it.
Well, you pick a name that they're going to fast track.
I know. But you don't
You know
think
what I
they're going to
mean?
check?
Wow.
So this guy was denied a gun permit request using his actual name back in November because there was a warrant out for his arrest in Michigan. And then in January, he wanted to try his luck again. And on the application, he wrote, President Barack H. Obama.
Just to see if it would go through.
Yeah.
But at some point, though, it's
Like, he used the middle initial and everything.
Yeah, man, you got to make it official. You got to sound like you know what you're talking about.
He also, listen to this. The police report says that this guy also, in the application, it contained a letter bearing the United States of America seal with the United States Department of State letterhead.
Oh,
like
wow.
on,
He
quote,
went
like
all out,
official
huh?
letterhead. Yeah. Like, he thinks number 44 is out here trying to get a gun.
You never know.
For what,
right?
though?
You never know.
He's got security for life.
Doesn't matter. Sometimes you just want to.
You think Barack wants to be strapped?
Yeah.
I know he's from Chicago and everything, right? There's some pretty rough parts in Chicago.
But who are you to
still.
question? Who are you to question? It's legal, right? It's just not legal for this guy.
Like, if I worked at the gun shop, I'm like, okay, the number 44 wants a wants a piece.
Yeah, but you find that people fast track stuff like this because they think that maybe they're going to get a chance to meet Obama.
Like Obama's going to walk
You don't
into
know.
his gun shop
But
in
I'm just,
Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm just saying
I
this
feel
is
like I'm here from a
yeah.
gun.
This is how stuff like this is exactly the same as you always hear these stories of there was one the other day where there was a woman on Facebook where she's now penniless because she gave $60,000 because she thought that she was dating Bruce Springsteen. Right? You know what I mean? Like you're willing.
She thought she was linked up with the
yeah,
boss.
Yes. Like you just people do things when they think that they can get close to celebrity. So you put Barack Hussein Obama down on your gun application. The guy processing it thinks, hey, maybe there's a chance that Barry's going to come in and pick up the piece himself.
Yeah, welcome
right?
to Guns N' Roses. Can I help you?
Yes.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I avoided it for most of the day yesterday, but there was a point last night where I thought I'd crack a can of cider and just dip my toe into the reaction to Rush Limbaugh dying. Oh, God.
Yo, I can't remember the last. I mean, social's always divided, regardless. But yesterday was just an absolute
And
mess.
I'll tell you the interesting part about Rush Limbaugh and the reaction to Rush Limbaugh was because he was sick for so long. Normally what happens when you work for any sort of news organization is that you pre-write your obits.
Mm-hmm.
You pre-record your obits, you pre-produce them, so the day somebody of notoriety dies, they're ready to go. So you're not scrambling.
Yeah.
And I spent 15 years voicing obits for people who aren't actually dead yet,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's wild to do. Like, I've read many scripts of obits that are just sitting on a shelf
Yeah.
waiting for somebody to die. So that's what you do sort of in that newsy professional world. And it goes on and nobody really talks about it. But the interesting thing about Twitter was regular people had done that for Rush Limbaugh. And you could tell yesterday because Rush Limbaugh had been sick for a real long time. And you could tell that people had these tweets ready. Like
they were sitting in
knew,
the drafts.
oh my God, they were sitting in the drafts
Right.
because there was some creativity and use of words and strung together detail. Like they were ready yesterday.
People went deep into Wikipedia like
deep,
months ago.
Like deep
fact checking.
Oh
right?
my God. Like they knew that they were going to be met with. They knew that they were going to be met with, be respectful. The man's dead. You may not have to have liked him, but at least show respect to the family.
Oh.
All of this stuff. And they were ready for every single moment
Everything
of it.
was in a draft. They
Everything was in
predicted
a draft.
it all. Like, if I say this, I may get this response. And if that's the case, here's what I have ready to
You know
go.
what? You know what it reminded me of?
Huh.
It reminded me of when I was a telemarketer.
Yeah.
And when you're a telemarketer, they give you this script, and it's all color-coded tabs on the side.
Okay.
And when you call somebody up to say, hey, it's Roz calling from wherever, I'm selling this and that, and whatever the rejection they give you, okay, I'm not interested. You go down this list quickly, and you find I'm not interested, and then you flip the page, and it gives you 5 responses to I'm not interested, right?
Or would it help if I told you blah, blah, blah?
Yeah, my wife's not home, and she's the one with the credit card. Flip the page.
Right.
What time's she home? All of these responses. That's what it reminded me of because everybody was so ready yesterday. Like everybody was so ready yesterday.
People were replying like, oh, but legend, broadcasting legend, this and this. And then the replies were quick
They were
with,
so quick.
but may I remind
Yeah,
you
so
of
quick.
of fact A, B,
Yeah.
C, all the way down to Z.
Yeah, so quick. It reminded me of when Christopher Hitchens years ago was on with Sean Hannity and Jerry Falwell died. And I think that what Christopher Hitchens had said at the time was that if you removed all the crap from Jerry Falwell, you could bury him in a matchstick box.
Oh, geez.
And this was the day he died.
Oh, no.
Right? Like it was, and it reminded me of that. That video, that old video of Christopher Hitchens on Sean Hannity, was popping up everywhere yesterday because I think that that's sort of what people were using as the example because that was Hannity just kept saying, at least have some respect for the family.
Yeah.
And Christopher Hitchens on television was just like having no part of it.
Yeah, saved in the drafts.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So in Texas, they're getting hammered again with even more snow today. And it's bad. Like 3 million people have been affected. And it's crazy because like we get snow, all the time. Like we deal with it, right?
Yeah.
We're used to it. But they know Doesn't happen in Texas.
Well, they don't have the infrastructure to
And they don't know how to
prevent
deal with it.
freezing,
Yeah.
right?
So they've been without power for days. They've been without water for days. And trying to figure things out and trying to deal with it the best that they can.
Why didn't they all fly to Cancun like Ted Cruz did? That seems like a good idea.
Too expensive right now. So their mayor, I don't know if you saw this, their mayor went on a rant on Facebook.
Who's mayor?
In Texas. His name is Tim Boyd.
Which city? Does it say?
It says here in Colorado City.
Okay.
Texas. And he had to quit because of this rant that he went on.
Oh, he had to quit.
Mm-hmm. Let me hurt some feelings while I have a minute.
Oh, geez, your time is up when you start a tweet like that, huh?
No one owes you and your family anything, nor is it the local government's responsibility to support you during trying times like this.
Excuse me? That's exactly
Sink
the purpose of the
or
government.
swim. It's your choice. The city and country, along with power providers and other services, owe you nothing. I'm sick and tired of people looking for a damn handout. If you don't have electricity, you step up and come up with a game plan to keep your family warm and safe. If you have no water, you deal without and think outside of the box to survive and supply water to your family. If you are sitting at home in the cold because you have no power and are sitting there waiting for someone to come to your rescue, to rescue your rescue you because you're lazy is a direct result of your raising. Only the strong will survive and the weak will perish. Folks, God has given us the tools to support ourselves in times like this. This is sadly a product of a socialist government where they feed people to believe that the few will work and others will become dependent for handouts. Am I sorry that you've been dealing without electricity and water? Yes, but I'll be damned if I'm going to provide for anyone that is capable of doing it themselves. We have lost sight of those in need and those that take advantage of the system and mesh them into one group. Bottom line, quit crying and looking for a handout. Get off your ass and take care of your own family. Bottom line, again, don't be a part of the problem. Be a part of the solution.
Well, yeah, but my water's frozen, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Also, I've had no power.
I have icicles coming
days
through my
and
lights
days.
in my house.
Uh-huh. I
Yeah.
can't live. I can't survive right now.
That is...
So this guy quit. He
That's
had to.
that's an elected official, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Only the strong will survive.
And then they're getting more... Like, we're getting some snow on here,
God.
but they are getting even more today and tomorrow.
Yeah, and you can't say to people, it's there's just things when you start traveling around, there's things that you hear that are so normal to others, but when you hear it for the first time, just because of where you live, it's so shocking.
Yeah.
Like when you're in parts of Texas or parts of Los Angeles, and so when he says, improvise and do what you can, the problem with that is you get into territories where people start killing themselves and their families. Because I've been in LA many times, or Nevada or Texas, when it's unseasonably cold, where it's like people don't know how to deal with these couple of days of freezing temperatures that they have. It's weird.
Yeah.
They don't know how to deal with it. The houses don't have furnaces. They don't know what to do. And they get warnings on television and on radio stations and warnings that lead local newscasts reminding people to not put their barbecues in their living rooms to heat the house.
Yeah. Because people
Right?
get desperate. They don't know what to do.
We don't have that up here.
No.
People don't put barbecues in their living, but down there, they don't know what to do. So when you listen to a guy like this, where he's like, improvise, we owe you nothing, figure it out, save your family, people are like, okay, what gets hot? The car. We can go sit in the car, but gas is expensive. All the refineries are shut down. How much is that going to cost us? What else do we got? Okay, let's bring the barbecue in from the backyard, light it up with a propane tank.
Yeah. Turn on the oven, open the door.
You turn on the oven, open the door. We'll all fall asleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's how people die.
But this mayor of this county in Texas had to quit after going on that rant.
Jesus.
on Facebook when Texas has seen like 20 people died and, close to 3 million people without water and power.
That sounded like a guy who was just done.
Yeah, completely finished with the job.
The Roz and Mocha Show
podcast.
There are a ton of celebrity birthdays today. So if it is your birthday, here's who you share it with. Our boy Ed Sheeran is 30 years old. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is 40. Paris Hilton is 40. That's crazy. I didn't think Paris Hilton was 40 yet.
I actually thought Paris Hilton was a little older than 40.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess she's been in our lives forever, so. Jerry O'Connell is 47.
Who's that?
Actor, man. You know Jerry O'Connell.
I do. But from what was Jerry O'Connell famous for? What was his first big? Oh! He was he was he was in Jerry Maguire, right? He was a football player in Jerry Maguire.
Yes.
He was the hot quarterback that Jerry was trying to sign, right?
Here is a picture of Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
gotcha.
So today's his birthday. He's 47 years old. Denise Richards is 50. Michael Bay, the director, 56. Renee Russo, the actress, 67. And here's a shocking one, at least for me. But Michael Jordan, the GOAT.
Yeah.
He's still, in my eyes, still a young guy. 58. I thought Jordan was older than that.
You did? No,
Yeah.
because athletes age out young, man.
But then I forget, he was so young when he was in the NBA.
And they retire early, and you have to wrap your head around the fact that athletes, when they retire, they're not regular retirement age.
No,
athletes
not at
retire
all.
in their early 40s.
Yeah, sometimes in their 30s.
Yeah.
Once you made enough bank.
Yeah.
But Michael Jordan is only 58 years old.
Yeah. I think Gordie Howe played. How long? I think Gordie Howe played until he was 52. You look at pictures of Gordie Howe on the ice, he's in his 50s.
How old is Ovechkin? He's in his 40s, right? Still playing?
No.
Or is he young?
No, Ovechkin's he's around the same age as Sidney Crosby because they both went
No,
into
he's
the
not.
league at the same time.
Yo,
Yeah.
He just looks
Right?
old.
30, 35.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
Is he
listen,
really?
he's got that. Yeah. Russians age differently, though. We know
He
that.
looks-
They're a hard
old.
breed,
Yeah.
right? Russians are a hard breed. They age differently. But yeah. So how old is?
Yeah, that's crazy.
How old's Jerry O'Connell?
47.
47.
Yeah, he looks good.
Cameron Crowe said that he was thinking about doing Jerry Maguire too.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah. And
For
it makes
what?
but it makes sense though. It makes sense because he said that if he was going to do Jerry Maguire 2, it would the only logical way. And because at first I had the exact same reaction that you did, which is no, you can't do Jerry Maguire 2, right? But he said the only way to do Jerry Maguire 2 is to focus on the Tidwells. They would be the focus of they would be the sort of continuing story. So it would be.
I don't know if I'm that interested, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I would be. Oh,
I'm not
100%.
No, I'm not
to
interested.
see what happened to Rod Tidwell?
No, I'm not interested.
No?
No.
Cuba Gooding Jr., show me the money?
I'm fine.
Really?
Yeah, you know
Oh,
why? Because if they
no.
screw it up, then it ruins the original movie for me.
You think so,
Yeah.
huh? But I see, my thing is this, is that they had that storyline. It was one of the best secondary storylines with Cuba Gooding Jr. and Regina King. It was one of the best secondary storylines in a movie that I've seen where you have your sort of main focus. You got Jerry Maguire and Renee Zellweger. But the Rod Tidwell, the story with that family was so good that I think you could do a complete second version of Jerry Maguire with just Cuba Gooding Jr. and Regina King. 100%.
Really?
Absolutely.
I don't know if I'd be interested in that.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You all right?
Uh-huh.
Hey, Mocha.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Let's do the news!
A Roz and Mocha Show and Kiss 92.5 News Break.
So DJ duo Night Owl Sound, which consists of Drake associates OVO Mark and OVO Noel, they made it clear regarding any news of Certified Lover Boy.
Oh, my God. What?
They said this.
Yeah.
Anything Certified Lover Boy related will be posted by Drake himself. Until then, hold a seat and wait on it. Because I guess now people are looking for all sorts of information and leaks from other sources to find out when the album's going to be dropping.
It's like the most anticipated album ever, huh?
Well,
Hold on.
But I know a lot of people are going in on Drake because they're like, you're doing all this other stuff, man. Just drop the album, like the State Farm commercial.
Oh, yeah. The best.
But, you know, in that commercial, like, they're both wearing, like, red polo shirts, like the State Farm guy, because that's what they wear. And
Yeah,
Drake.
the State Farm guy, his name's Jake.
Yes.
And his stand-in was Drake.
Right. And they wear red polo shirts in this. I don't know what Jake was wearing, but apparently for that commercial, Drake's polo shirt as a State Farm stand-in was a $480 Bottega Veneta.
No.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. You rep, son. Are you kidding me? Of course.
If you're going to do it, you got to do it, huh?
You shine.
Kevin Hart's one-time personal shopper is accused of laundering over $1 million of Kevin's money.
And Kevin knew about it?
They just found out about it. So Dylan Sayer was in court this week in New York City where he was charged with grand larceny and 9 other counts in connection with his misappropriation of Kevin's money. Initially, he started working with Kevin in 2015, and I guess the story goes is that he was using Kevin's credit cards to transfer money into his personal accounts, racking up $1.2 million from October 2017 to February 2019.
Wow.
He spent money on luxury items such as paintings by artist Sam Friedman, a lot of Patek Philippe watches worth $400,000, a pair of Louis Vuitton bags, and at least 16 collectible dolls by Bear Brick, which can range from hundreds to thousands of dollars per doll, and 5 Cause collectible dolls. Does it not sound like this is exactly the way Maury would spend stolen money?
I was just going to say, who's the personal shopper? Dan Maury?
Dream is to own those dolls.
Right. Doesn't it sound like you were the guy that stole from Kevin Hart?
I want to know this guy. He's buying everything I want.
This is why I'm so hesitant to give Maury my credit card for coffee in the morning.
But if this guy's going shopping for Kevin Hart, right?
Yes.
Wouldn't Kevin Hart be like, yo, man, where's all my stuff?
No, he was, but listen, it's when you're dealing with that kind of money where he's just a personal shopper. So he goes and gets some stuff for Kevin, transfers a little bit into his own account, fudges the numbers a little bit, hide a little here, hide a little there, put down some money as
But that's
tip.
what you got accountants for, too, right?
Well, this is why he got busted.
Yeah.
Eventually, they tracked down the $1.2 million.
Kev, your credit card, your statements are
I know.
out of this world.
I know. I don't
You're
know.
fudging the numbers.
I wouldn't know how to handle it if somebody close to me that I entrusted with my money stole from me and spent the money on dolls.
I'd go ape.
I
I'd
would
go
lose
nuts.
my
Yeah,
mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, but
Absolutely.
no. You would take the doll because they're going to go up in value.
Dave Chappelle is returning to Netflix. And when I say Dave Chappelle, I mean Chappelle's show is returning to Netflix. If you remember when he was on SNL doing his monologue, he told the story of what happened to Chappelle's show, which was he was upset because Comedy Central had sold the rights to HBO Max and to Netflix, and he wasn't making money off it because of the deal that he signed back in the day. And so he went on to tell people to just not watch it, and I guess they didn't. And then he had some sort of deal, and new agreements were made, and now Netflix is rolling out once again Chappelle's show, and this is Dave talking about it.
I never asked Comedy Central for anything. If you remember, I said I'm going to my real boss, and I came to you because I know where my power lies. I asked you to stop watching the show, and thank God Almighty for you, you did. You made that show worthless because without your eyes, it's nothing. And when you stopped watching it, they called me, and I got my name back, and I got my license back, and I got my show back, and they paid me millions of dollars. Thank you very much.
So there you go.
Because I guess part of the original story, too, is that he called Netflix to say, hey, like, this upsets me. And they were like, cool, no problem.
Yeah,
And they pulled the show.
They've spent so much money on Dave Chappelle.
Oh,
like, they don't want to piss off Dave Chappelle.
No.
Dave Chappelle is the,
They have like a multi-year deal with the guy,
he's on,
right?
Yeah, he's on $20 and $30 million contracts with Netflix. Like, it's an incredible amount of money. But yeah, so there you go. So you can watch Chappelle's show on
Is that
Netflix
in Canada,
now,
though? Because I remember
guilt-free.
the first time it was Netflix US, and we didn't have it here.
Right.
Right? But we had it
Yeah,
on,
I don't know.
I think it was like Crave.
Oh, maybe.
Canada.
Yeah. Maybe I don't think Dave knew about Crave. Otherwise, he would have gone off on Crave.
Oh,
but
wow.
I don't think Crave's part of that deal, though.
Never mind. I didn't say nothing.
Netflix is reportedly doing its own Britney Spears documentary. This after the success of framing Britney Spears on Hulu. They have tapped Erin Lee Carr, who specializes in true crime documentaries.
Wow.
She was the one who did How to Fix a Drug Scandal for Netflix, and she's going to be heading up the Britney Spears Netflix documentary. Did you watch that Cecil Hotel documentary?
We watched
Docuseries?
episodes 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I still have the other 2 to go through.
It's wild, man.
I can't remember. So I know the story, right?
Yeah.
And it was like partway through episode 1 where I was like, I'm pretty sure this is something that I read about before.
Right.
But I can't remember how the story ended.
To me, the most shocking thing of that documentary is how so many people don't know how to say the word Cecil.
I know. Some people were saying Cecil.
Everybody's
Some were saying Cecil.
Cecil.
Yeah.
Cecil.
I can't believe people still go and stay at that hotel.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Well, it's famous now, the Cecil Hotel.
Used to walk by there all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
In front of the Cecil?
Yeah, in front of the Cecil. Yeah. Yeah, because downtown LA, like the weird thing
When you're
about
hanging out on Skid Row?
Yeah, yeah, I know. But isn't, you know what, and that's the thing about Skid Row is it's this huge area where all the sort of transients and homeless sort of have gathered forever. And it's the community basically that they built for them to live on the street. When I grew up, I always heard of Skid Row, but I just thought that was a nickname. That you gave, that somebody had given to another neighborhood. But like if you look on a map, like Skid Row is on a map.
Yeah, it says. Like,
Like,
you
it
look
says-
on Google Maps, it says Skid
Yeah,
Row.
yeah, like it's there, which I think that, how is it that has not changed? Like somebody has not been like, hey man, it's a little crass to keep calling this
But
place
do you
Skid
think
Row.
if they changed the name, everyone would leave?
No, people would still just call it Skid Row. Like I understand that, but this
Yeah.
documentary, finish watching it because you are familiar, like you said, with the story, and but it's wild how anybody, like how that place was even allowed to exist even before all of this happened.
American
was
Horror
just
Story Hotel was
wild.
based on that one.
Was it?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Yeah. Crazy. According to the New York Post and Page 6, ABC is in crisis mode and considering taking the spotlight off Claudia Conway after her appearance on American Idol was branded exploitative.
Wow.
Because it appeared to capitalize on the struggles that she's having with her mom, Kellyanne. If you remember, things got so bad. Cops have been involved multiple times in that house after Claudia accused Kellyanne of leaking a nude picture of her. That was just the latest incident as far as accusations. And they built their entire premiere around Claudia Conway being on the show, and they took a real hit from it. And now insiders saying that the network is, quote, rethinking how they're going to position Claudia and Kellyanne with promotion. They were big on putting Claudia in all the promos, but now they are thinking of not putting nearly as much focus on that, to not make as big of a deal of her being on the show and focus on the other contestants as well. ABC is also facing backlash, as we know, with Chris Harrison having to apologize and then temporarily stepping down from The Bachelor. So they're in crisis mode with their reality right now.
Gosh.
So that's the focus on Claudia is surely going to change. Kristen Wiig revealed the names of her 2 daughters. So it's been a year, and nobody knew the names of Kristen Wiig's daughters.
A year?
Yeah, it's been a year. So she had them via surrogate, and in the end credits of Kristen's new movie called Barb and Star Go
my
to
God.
Vista Del Mar.
Did you watch it?
No.
We rented it on the weekend.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
She thanks her family members. So Avi is her husband. So in the credits at the very, very end, there was special thanks to Avi, Luna, and Shiloh. And Avi is Kristen Wiig's husband. So obviously Luna and Shiloh are the two kids. So what is Barb and Star? I don't know what this is.
Oh my God. They're like these 40-year-old women who live in Nebraska, and they've never left Nebraska before.
Okay.
And they go to this all-inclusive
Right.
called Vista Del Mar
Right.
in Florida.
Yeah.
It's just so dumb. Like, it's so stupid.
Is it funny though?
Yeah. Like, it's like stupid funny.
But like worth it?
No, definitely not.
Not
worth my $20. No.
Really? You paid $20 for that?
Yeah.
Oh, it was like a premium rental.
Yeah.
Like this is one of the
Because it just
movies
dropped on Friday, right?
Oh, I
So
gotcha.
I paid $20 to rent it.
I gotcha.
It was so dumb. Whatever. You know what? I'll probably watch it again. I'm not going to lie. Now that I think about some of the jokes.
So it's Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar, right? Okay.
Now that I think about it, I actually do like the movie. It's so
Okay,
stupid.
good. So a number of Bachelor alum are calling for Chris Harrison to be gone permanently from the show.
I still don't even understand what the whole story is.
Okay, so Rachel on... Is it Rachel? Who's the girl?
Rachel Lindsay? No.
No. Yeah, it is Rachel. So Rachel, who is
Rachel
in the
Lindsay's
final
the one.
four
Yes,
on,
yes.
on Bachelor. A lot of posts from her past came to light, and a lot of stories from people that she knew when she was younger. A couple of girls said that that they were bullied by Rachel for dating black guys.
Mm-hmm.
She was seen to like a number of pictures on social media from her friends standing in front of things like Confederate flags, liking QAnon posts. And then there was a shot of her at a sorority party from 2018, which was an antebellum themed party. And Rachel Lindsay, who works for Extra, did an interview with Chris Harrison on this topic of Rachel from the current season of the accusations of her racist past. And this is what Chris Harrison said talking to Rachel Lindsay.
I saw a picture of her at a sorority party 5 years ago, and that's it.
The picture was from 2018 at an Old South antebellum party. It's not a good look.
Well, is it a good look in 2018 or is it not a good look in 2021?
It's
because
not
there's
a
a big
good
difference.
look ever because she's celebrating
Well,
the Old South.
I don't disagree with you. You're 100% right in 2021. That was not the case in 2018. And again, I'm not defending Rachel. I just know that 50 million people did that in 2018. My guess, these girls got dressed up and went to a party and had a great time. They were 18 years old. Now, does that make it okay? I don't know, Rachel. You tell me. But where is this lens we're holding up? And was that lens available? And were we all looking through it in 2018?
So Demario Jackson from season 13 and Jubilee Sharp from season 20 were two former cast members of The Bachelor that have said that Chris Harrison's vacation should be permanent. Chris Harrison did issue an apology. He said this: to the black community, to the BIPOC community, I am sorry. My words were harmful. I am listening and truly apologizing for my ignorance and any pain that I caused you. To that end, I have consulted with Warner Brothers and ABC and will be stepping aside for a period of time and will not be there for the After the Final Rose special. So
Wow.
he's not going to be there for After the Final Rose. Rachel Lindsay, after that interview, sat down with Billy Bush on Extra to try and figure out where the franchise goes from here.
Where do you go from here when you're
Should
starting
they step
to
away
see?
from him, or should cooler heads prevail and see what he comes up with?
I think you have to see what happens. I think I don't want to play into being too quick to judge someone, right? Am I disappointed? Absolutely. Do I agree with that? What happened in that interview? No. But at the same time, he has taken the steps to not issue one, but two apologies. Let's see what happens from there. Now, I will say this: to see the contestants come together and speak out and to say what they don't stand for, I don't know how we continue in this way. How do you, when people in Bachelor Nation are upset, the contestants of this very show, the leads of the show, how does he go on to represent the franchise when people are so upset by what they saw in that interview that we had?
Because right now, as it is, Chris having said what he said, he can't sit down, because obviously on After the Final Rose, they're going to have to get into this with Rachel. And Chris cannot, he can no longer be the guy to ask these questions.
Right.
So it has to be somebody else. So whoever that person is going to be, I don't know. But he can't be the one sitting there now asking Rachel about the accusations of racism from her past after saying what he said to Rachel Lindsay. Tekashi 6ix9ine. So there's a document. Listen, man, there's a documentary coming out. Okay, it'll air February 21st on Showtime, and it's called The Supervillain: The Making of Tekashi 6ix9ine. It's a 3-part documentary series.
Okay.
Now, normally you would think for a guy that just got out of the joint and has been labeled a rat and everything else, that he would have put a team around him that would sort of try and paint him in some sort of favorable light.
Right.
Karam Gill is the director of the 6ix9ine documentary. This is what he had to say. First of all, he called Tekashi 6ix9ine a, quote, truly horrible human being.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
Okay.
He goes on to say that 6ix9ine is hyper-calculated and a social media mastermind who can spark any reaction. He initially said that he was reluctant to even be a part of the project and didn't want to explore 6ix9ine's story because he's, quote, such a toxic individual in our culture, but he then realized it's an extremely important story that shines a light on where we are as a culture, explaining we're living in an era of manufactured celebrity where people can create inauthentic online personas and rise to fame without any talent or morals. Tekashi's story is exactly that. He's someone who realized the power of having your own platform. That's the director of your documentary saying that about you.
And that's when?
That's February 21st. I had no interest in seeing a Tekashi 6ix9ine documentary. Now I have all the interest in watching a Tekashi 6ix9ine documentary.
Right. And if you don't know, he's the guy behind a song like this, which you probably never heard of.
Don't blink, leave it to the double thick thighs, twin sisters. Drop it down and wobble up. Mommy booted up. She get down and gobble up. Cause my money up. Slide in the belly truck.
Anyway.
People listen to this, huh? They do? For real?
Yeah.
Like, not even ironically.
No,
Like
not even.
They get down to that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll watch that
Interesting.
documentary, though, for sure.
The NBA has issued a warning to LeBron James for violating the league's anti-flopping rule. This was from this was from Friday when they were playing Memphis. The incident involving LeBron James occurred with 2:35 left in the second quarter, attempting to block out Dylan Brooks. James, I don't know if you saw the footage, but like he got a tiny nudge, and LeBron went down looking like he got shot. One of those.
Yeah.
And then Brooks was called for the foul. LeBron went to the line and made both free throws. The NBA's implemented the anti-flopping rule in the 2012-2013 season to curb unsportsmanlike behavior, which was on full display from LeBron James. Players are warned for their first offense, followed by a $5,000 fine for the second, $10,000 for the third, $15,000 for the fourth, $30,000 for the fifth.
Wow.
And if a player reaches 6 offenses in one season, the NBA can increase the fine or suspend the player.
They're not going to suspend LeBron, though.
I don't know. Did you see the flop, though?
No.
Bruh, you got to see this. It's silly. It's just stupid.
Really?
Oh, it's so bad.
Let me see.
It's so, and flops, like when the actual game is happening, right, and somebody flops, it's so difficult to tell because everything's in real time. But, man, when they show a flop in slow-mo, where you see just how far the arm.
Yo, this man looked like he's about to fly away.
Right?
You're
Okay.
right, though. It really does look like he got shot.
Oh,
like that
God.
guy barely,
barely
LeBron,
touched
barely
him.
touched
Also,
you, bro.
LeBron's a monster.
I know.
Okay?
Beast.
Yeah. Like, you know what you would have to do to a guy like that to get that kind of physical reaction out of him?
You would have to put both of your hands on his chest and use all of your might, all of your force
yes.
to even try to push him back a little bit.
yeah.
But to have him fall over like that?
No.
Bron,
It's
who you
like,
fooling,
it's
bro?
like he got a bee in his shorts. You know what I mean? Like something hurt the man. Silence of the Lambs, I believe it's in its 30th year, right? That classic film, Silence of the Lambs, 30th anniversary. So the main house in Silence of the Lambs where Clarice caught Buffalo Bill sold a couple of months ago for $300,000. It's just outside of Pittsburgh. The new owners plan to turn it into a bed and breakfast, which means that it would be possible for you to go and spend the night in the house that was used for Buffalo Bill's lair. However, the basement stuff with the pit and everything else, it rubs the lotion on its skin and else gets the hose again, none of that was actually filmed inside the house. However, the new owner of the house is an art director, and he plans to recreate that room in the basement of the house that he just bought. So it's not just the historical references to the house, but when you actually what they want to do is when you go to the house, you're going to actually be able to stay in the house. Like I imagine they're going to do it up very much like it was done in the movies with the What's that?
Like if he builds that thing in the basement, can you go in it for like
you want to go in the pit?
Well, that way if you're staying there, you
Do
want
they
to
rub you down with lotion too?
Well, no, so you could film it for social.
You want to be in the pit for social. Like, normally people would want to be Clarice when they go to that house. I don't think anybody wants to be the person in
Somebody
the pit.
has to be in the pit.
Well, that's the story of your marriage, eh, Maura? You know what I mean? Like, it just says so much. Your willingness to jump in the pit just says so much.
Roz and Mocha Q&A.
All right, here we go. Time to answer some questions. Yo, Riley, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Welcome to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Thank you.
How long have you been listening to the podcast for?
On a regular basis for about almost a year now, but off and on for years and years.
All right. And do you listen to all of Ask Roz and Mocha?
Yes, I do.
So I'm going to keep you on the phone for this because before we get to your question, I want to play for you guys. Every now and then, whenever we're answering questions on Ask Roz and Mocha, when you listen back to it, there are certain times where we're talking about something, like if you jump into the conversation at the wrong time, it sounds like we're having a conversation about something completely different.
Okay.
And sometimes when you take that conversation, and if you were to add like beeps or anything to what's being said, it sounds way dirtier than what's actually being talked about.
Okay.
For example.
And then it kept just getting like more wet, more wet, more wet. And I walked in, it was a big, giant and you could put your finger right through the that he had licked all the way. He had licked all the way through. You're the worst.
Why?
That only happens if you do it. You play this like, oh, look, this weird thing happened. No.
Can I play one more for you, Riley?
Yes.
Sure.
I see people just suck it.
Well, I guess you could try that.
Yeah. I see people suck it. I've never found it to be something worth paying for. Right? And you're there with four other people, and like you get a bib, and everything's covered in newspaper. And I had the best time of my life for the first 10 seconds, and then I hated every minute of it.
Yeah, because it's just work.
Oh, who wants to work that hard? And it doesn't even taste that good. Yeah. Like, it's not that great.
It's tasteless meat.
You're the worst.
By the way, that was from episode 225.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about eating crab.
Oh, right. Yes.
All right, Riley, what is your question for the room?
So my question is, do you ever wonder about space?
What do you mean, wonder about space?
Well, what do you wonder about if you think of space?
Oh, yes.
Well, what do you wonder about? Do you ever think about space, Riley?
Yeah, so ever since I was a kid, I always wondered where space ends.
Yes.
Like, what is space and where does it end?
I used to get such anxiety thinking about that, and it would always hit me at night while I was lying in bed. And the thing that I couldn't wrap my head around was the idea of just forever, the idea that something has no end.
Exactly.
And it would haunt me. Like, I would stay up and I would obsess about it. And it's not even that I really knew a lot about space, and I didn't really know the sort of rules of what goes on in different solar systems and everything else. The only thing that I did know is just what you're taught at a very young age, and that is it's endless, and it just goes on forever. And as a kid, that's just not something that you can comprehend.
No,
the idea that you don't even know how to process that information. And I just remember feeling incredibly anxiety filled and lonely, and it would terrify me and all of this stuff. So yeah, do I do that anymore? No, I used to do it a lot when I was a kid. Obsess over the fact that it has no end.
That's not what I thought the question was.
What was the question?
When he said, "Do you ever wonder about space?" My answer, until I heard yours, was yes, all the time. When I buy things, I worry about running out of space.
Fair enough.
Oh, you don't mean...
I thought he meant like just space in your life.
Like just
space
the
in your
space
home.
we occupy?
Like, I only have 900 square feet. What am I supposed to do if I buy a plant?
So thinking that way, what do you wonder about space?
Like, if I didn't have a balcony and they just extended my living room, I would have that much more room.
Oh, yes.
That much more
and
space.
And your balcony's not even that big.
And I always wonder about space as to why they even bothered putting that there.
Right.
Like,
yes.
I could have used that internally.
Yes.
Could you not, when you bought the condo, could you not have bought a unit that didn't have a balcony that maybe had that additional space, or does every unit have a balcony?
No, there are 5 units that don't have balconies, but the problem is that we discuss when we're outside, we'll often look up and stare at them, and I'm like, you know what? If we had that, I wonder why I didn't have a balcony.
Oh, Maury, if you didn't have a balcony, and you looked out your window and saw somebody below you out on their balcony, you would hate your place.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but why don't we have that?
Yes, you would hate it.
So yes, I wonder about space all the time.
Two very interesting conversations, though. Both are worth having, actually. Mocha.
Oh yeah, I love anything
Wait,
astronomy.
which space conversation are you doing?
Let's talk outside of the outside of our planet here, outer space,
not
right?
square footage.
No, not square footage. I think about it all the time. I love that stuff.
Yeah,
I love talking about planets. I don't know anything about them, but still, planets and the infinite space that exists. How far a person could potentially go before they are beyond coming back.
Yes.
Right? What would happen if you were to actually get lost in space?
Right.
Black holes, stuff like that. Wonder, they talk about what is on the other side, what happens if you go through a black hole. I think about that stuff all the time.
Also, with regard to outer space, is what does it sound like with no traffic noise and no birds chirping?
It sounds like nothing.
Yeah.
But what does nothing sound like?
Just
this.
absolute
Listen,
silence.
Listen.
I can hear Roz's stomach.
Shut up.
Wow, bro, that was... You wouldn't be able to survive in space,
no,
huh?
Man, you wouldn't.
At all.
Would you want him on your ship?
No,
Hell
absolutely
no.
not. No, he takes up too much space.
Hell no. He would be that guy. Maury would be that guy. Did you see that movie? It wasn't a very good movie, but it was Chris Pratt and Scarlett Johansson? No.
Which one?
Not Scarlett Johansson. What? Jennifer Lawrence. No.
What's it called?
No, the one where they're in pods and they're asleep and they're going on the passenger.
Oh, is it good?
Yeah. No, it's not very good. It's not very good. But there's an interesting part of that film, which is it's got to be Scarlett Johansson. No, Jennifer Lawrence. I think it's Jennifer Lopez. Oh, no. Sorry. Yeah, you're right, Shem. Jennifer Lawrence. So they're in pods, and they have to go and repopulate, recolonize a new world. And you're supposed to be in this pod in sort of suspended animation and asleep for 30 years or something like that, or 90 years, whatever it was. And something happens, and Chris Pratt's pod opens during the trip.
Yeah.
And he realizes that he will live his full life alone on this ship and die by the time anybody else comes out of hibernation. Right.
Wow.
And so he's sitting there struggling with that. And there's nothing he can do. He can't get into the machinery room. He can't fix his pod. He can't do anything. His pod opened. It was the only one that opened. It was a complete fluke. And now he's basically going to live out his years and just die while everybody else is in transit.
Do you find out in the movie why his pod opens?
No, you don't really.
Oh, okay.
It was a malfunction. No, but what he does is he goes and looks through Jennifer Lawrence's pod while she's sleeping and beautiful and falls in love with her.
Oh, Chris.
And opens her pod.
No. You SOB.
And then tells her that it was a malfunction just like his was.
He lied. You can't start a relationship like that, man.
Right?
Then you have to hold on to that lie your whole life.
Yes, yeah. But there's interesting things in the movie, too. Like, he was on a super discounted fare, right? And so he didn't have access, because you get a little wristband.
Yeah.
And he didn't have access to really anything, just basic needs like water and porridge and whatever else. But Jennifer Lawrence, on the other hand, was an A-class traveler. So she had all this bougie access to the pool and all this stuff. And so
Maybe that's why he booed up with her, because he knew she had that access.
He starts living this life on this ship, and then they fall in love, and then she eventually finds out what happens.
And then what's the moral?
Listen.
Well, don't lie, man.
Well, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just pay more for your trip.
No, but so that kind of thing, right? And even in Interstellar.
Yeah.
In Interstellar,
such a good movie.
What I find so stressful about Interstellar is there's that one scene where, or that one sequence where they have to go down to those other planets.
Yeah.
And they have to, I don't know, get stuff done or pick up the guy or whatever it is. But they're on the ship, and then they're having the conversation of for every hour that they're down there, it's 5 years Earth time kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so they go down to this planet, and the thing that they had to do didn't work. And then they have to get back up to their other ship. But the time it took them to do that was 15 Earth years.
Oh.
So everybody that you're trying to get home to back on Earth has aged 15 years in the time that you just failed that super quick mission. And so that kind of thing freaks me out. The fact that people can be living one way in one part of the solar system where something like that may be possible, and then other people on Earth are just living. Oh God,
like
it
that
drives
movie
me nuts.
with Matt Damon where you shrink down and live in that little world, right? While everyone else is living in the big world. What was? I don't remember what that was called.
Downsizing.
Yeah.
No, that was more of a play on.
Did you see that, Mocha?
No, I didn't watch that one.
on the environment and on population and everything else, where you could if you had all the money that you did right now, how long would your money last if we shrunk you down to the size of an eraser?
Right.
And you like, how much would it cost you to build a mansion at that point? It would probably cost you, $200 or $300.
I just got the email confirmation.
Right. Yeah.
$100.
So there you go. Anyway, do we think about space? Yes, all the time.
Have you ever done any research, Riley, or looked into it? Like, what is the furthest someone has been able to travel into the solar system?
I don't know that answer, but my favorite fact is actually about like the stars, in that the light that we see is light that's tens of thousands or tens of millions years old because of how far away in light years they are.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
When
That
you look
is
up,
absolutely crazy.
and no matter where you are in the world, on a clear night, when you look up, if you have the ability without having, city lights kind of like drowning everything out, how many stars there are, and then to your point, Riley, like how far and how long it took for that light where it originates from to get to here to where we can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's so
It
wild.
is.
All that stuff
Yeah.
drives me.
I always thought from
drives
like
me
forever
bonkers.
ago, like maybe 15, 20 years ago, ever since I saw that movie, is it Contact?
Yeah.
With McConaughey and
Jodie Lee Foster. Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster,
Jodie
right?
Foster, yeah.
When she went through.
Was McConaughey in that movie too?
Yeah.
Really? Huh?
When she went through the wormhole. No,
Yes.
not the wormhole, the black hole,
Yeah.
right? She went through a black hole. And that was like the point of the movie. It was like trying to get through inside of a black hole to see what's on the other side. I always thought, oh man, if they ever had like a space program where they're accepting like volunteers to go through a black hole, I would
Right.
totally sign up.
Would you?
Yeah. Just out of curiosity, man.
It's crazy. So years ago, because now when you're an astronaut, now you are you're a scientist, you are all these things. But years ago, astronauts weren't. They were like fighter pilots,
Yeah.
right? Like they were test pilots, and because you only needed to be able to physically withstand the torture that your body goes through in order to get you into space.
Yeah.
And Shia LaBeouf got drunk one night, and I've told the story about when we were all drunk with Shia LaBeouf in Russia. But
Yeah.
I didn't tell this part of the story. So he was promoting Transformers, and Buzz Aldrin was in Transformers. That
Yeah.
one where it takes place in Russia. At least a part of the movie was in Russia. Buzz Aldrin, one of the most famous astronauts ever, moon guy, everything else,
Yeah.
right? He was saying, and maybe this was off the record, I don't know, but he was saying that Buzz Aldrin couldn't read. And we were all like, what do you mean he couldn't read? And he said that during his script, what happens is that he has somebody in his life who tells him his lines, and then he memorizes them that way, and then he shows up on set and he delivers his lines. And we were all like, yeah, but what about the fact that he went to the moon?
Yeah.
And he said that back in the day, everything was done with pictures. So there was no written instructions in the capsule, and it was all push this at this time and move this lever up and down. And it was all done in pictures. And that his claim, Shia LaBeouf's claim, is that Buzz Aldrin is illiterate and can't read, but still made it to the moon because back in the day, the only thing you needed to be was physically capable of making the trip.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's his
You just
claim.
had to be healthy.
Yeah, that's his.
that's crazy.
That's. I mean, and look at Shia
That's
LaBeouf.
why Buzz Aldrin can easily point to pictures on a menu in order based on that
Yeah,
too.
exactly. Yeah, no, but that's his claim is that
Wow.
Buzz Aldrin couldn't read and went all the way to the moon without having been able to read.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your question, Riley. I love stuff like this, man.
Oh, no problem at all. Thank you.
You have a great day, buddy.
All right. Thank you very much.
Later. Dana asks, what was your favorite thing to do at recess during elementary school?
Cage match. And making out was number one, and then cage match was number two. Because back in the day, there was no rules at school, right? Like they would just allow kids to do crazy things at school.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And we used to go to the back of the baseball diamond. So you know where the fence is, right?
Yeah.
So we would be on the other side of the fence, behind the home plate, and we used to take two pylons and put them 10, 12 feet away from the two inner posts of the fence. And we would make a ring, right? We would map out where a ring was.
Okay.
And we would wrestle. And we had one side was the cage, the back of the baseball diamond cage. And we would do cage matches where you had to climb up over the baseball diamond cage.
Wow.
And make it to the other side. And man, kids got hurt.
Yeah.
And like, it was really wild. And then if you weren't wrestling, you were making out.
Dan Maury?
Okay, so
different kids though.
Good for you.
My friends Jolt, Gaddy, and Benji and I used to go to the side hill.
Yeah.
Because all the cool kids were at the back hill, but we went to the side hill where there was like a berry bush, right? So on most recesses, we would pretend to be farmers and pick the berries and try and sell them to each other and be like, okay, so today's bushel is this, and we would play market.
The bell went, and you guys were like, "Want to go play farmer?"
Yeah.
What do we do at recess? We would play basketball. We'd run around like idiots. We would definitely wrestle because, to your point, like teachers didn't care back then.
They didn't.
Like they had teachers who would like walk around the schoolyard and stuff, and they just, if they saw you acting like a bunch of idiots, they would just tell you to stop, and then as soon as their back turned, you start wrestling again, right? It was that, basketball, tag, and a lot of foot hockey. And that's pretty much it.
Soccer, baseball was a big one too.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah,
There were tether ball courts at my school. Did you ever play the
bougie
tether?
school did you go to?
It's just a pole with a rope and a ball.
Berries and berry bushes and tether
man.
balls.
We never had a tether ball.
Oh
no, hell
By the
no.
way, we never got told to stop playing farmer. Like we never got in trouble.
Hey,
for
calm down over there.
It's too much farming over there. You're making a mess with the berries.
They wouldn't let us bring the berries into the school, so you had to throw them in the somewhere. Like you had to just get rid of the berries.
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, the struggles. those ruthless bastards of teachers, huh?
All right, everyone, get your phone for a second, please, because I'm going to open up your photo album.
Okay.
And then go to Recents or go to My Albums.
Okay, albums, yeah.
Okay.
Recents, yeah.
And then scroll all the way down to the bottom.
What do you mean? Like to
Just
my
all the way
most
down.
recent
Yeah.
or my earliest?
Because already says here, how many pictures do you have on your phone? So it should tell you how many photos.
It's just under camera roll.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So on mine, it says 9,555 photos. And then 3,505 videos.
Maury.
Okay, so pictures I have 14,449.
Damn.
And videos I have 1,146, and selfies I have 1,700. And there's there's a folder called Shem, and there's 59 pictures in it.
What do you mean, oddly? You would have created that folder, that album.
I don't know how that got there.
That's super weird, man.
Shem's in the other room.
You don't want that.
Delete.
Yeah, you don't want that. I don't want to have on somebody else's phone a whole folder of me. I have 2,580 videos.
Mm-hmm.
And shockingly, gentlemen, I have 16,413 pictures.
Wow, you have more pictures than me.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
How many selfies?
How do I find that out?
So you just go.
Don't come over here. I don't want you over here.
Keep going.
Okay. Selfies, 1,670.
Of course.
How many do you have?
I have here 641.
Oh, can I tell you though? No. Hold on here. I have to justify my my numbers for selfies.
Why is that?
Because what they consider to be selfies is even video. And every single thing that I've recorded on my phone during
lockdown
for ET Canada is categorized as selfies.
Okay. So asterisks.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
Like every single link and comment and show. All of that stuff is all on here.
Okay.
I have 12
Yeah.
slow-mo videos.
Yeah, okay. I have 35 portraits. I got 3 panoramas. What the hell is a panorama?
You should
It's
know what that is.
It's
Here's a good one. Here's a good one. This is a good tell. How many screenshots do you have?
389.
476.
So I've said this, I say this to Catherine all the time. My life is screenshots because I take a screenshot and then I email it to myself and then I go back and I look for something or use it for reference. Or when we were doing a renovation, it's like, this is the way I want the floors to look, everything else. So your screenshots, Maury, were how many?
389.
Mocha?
476.
2,910 screenshots.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've tried to get into the habit at the end of every month. I go through that month's photo album and I start deleting stuff because I don't
Oh, you do, huh?
I want to clear up the space, not only in my iCloud, but just like on my phone.
Yeah. I have some really crazy screenshots on here.
What is that?
I don't know. It's just some picture of a guy that apparently looks like me.
Let me see.
Oh, like some kid on the internet that somebody sent you because the kid looked like you?
Yeah, that's you, though.
Look.
That's you.
That's totally you. That is totally you.
Olivia says here, what is Roz's tuna salad recipe? I can't for the life of me find one. Sorry. I can't for the life of me find one that tastes as good as it does when I buy it or when I eat out.
Okay, so tuna salad is a weird one because I don't put celery in my tuna.
Oh, gross.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I don't put onion in my tuna, right?
Yeah.
So I don't add those things. I literally just take a can of tuna and then put some stuff in it. Like to call that tuna salad, sure, but to me that's it's just a tuna sandwich at that point, right? How I do tuna is I take a can of like white tuna in water, not in oil. And I'll put it in a bowl, and I pre-crush it with a fork, right? And I get it sort of nice and small, couple little chunks in there, but I get it nice and beat down. And then I do a little bit of mayo, a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, and red wine vinegar.
Oh, nice. I've never tried it with red wine vinegar.
And
That's
then
a good one.
I mix all that together.
Yeah.
And it just, to me, that's just what tuna tastes like. It's a little bit of, it's salty and a good hit of pepper. And the olive oil just adds a tiny, tiny, tiny little thing. Mayo, because you need it to bond together. And I like tuna to have mayo in it. And then the little bit of red wine vinegar just sort of sends it over the edge. But that's my favorite way to do tuna.
I usually just use the tuna that's in oil, not water.
Yeah.
And then just salt, pepper, mayo, and sometimes I'll slice some cucumber and mix it in there.
Oh,
but
you got cucumber in it, huh?
Yeah, but that's
Interesting.
literally it. I don't add anything. I hate celery.
I do the celery, but I also add microwaved corn.
With tuna?
But what if you're making a tuna sandwich, though?
Oh, then no corn.
No corn. Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm a huge fan of tuna. Like, I love tuna.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite way. I actually don't even make tuna sandwiches anymore. I just make that bowl of tuna, and then I go in and get a bag of Tostitos, and I just eat, and I just take a little spoon, and I just put the tuna on the chips, and just eat it that way. That's one of my favorite lunches.
Staying on the cooking train here, Elizabeth says, for Roz, is there anything you did to help foster Roxy's love for cooking? I love to bake, and I have a 4-year-old that I'd like to get into baking as well. Is it just as simple as getting her to help me?
Yes. Yeah, I would say that. And kids are good at things. And what I found is that Roxy's palate really, really opened up, and her willingness to try food really opened up when she was very young, because she was in the kitchen at a really, really young age. Because what I found was that if there were things that she turned her nose up at, chances are for most kids, they will eat what they cook.
Yeah.
And that's how we got her into eggs, because she wasn't eating a ton of eggs. And even with something like, my kid hated milk. Roxy's never had a glass of milk.
Oh, really?
She hates milk.
Wow.
But she likes chocolate milk, and she likes hot chocolate. And so at a really, really young age, we taught her how to use the hot chocolate maker.
Oh, nice.
And so she's been on a chair in the kitchen mixing her own hot chocolate and hitting go on it, and then pouring it into a cup since she was, I don't even know, 4, 5, right?
Yeah, Cruz, he'll be 4 in April, and anytime Jenna starts baking stuff, or even if she's like mixing something in the blender, she'll say to him, like, hey, do you want to come help me? Or I have to turn the blender on. Do you want to come press the button for me?
Mhm.
And he's like always willing.
Yeah.
Loves to help.
Yeah, stuff like meatballs are great because they can make those.
Yeah.
They know kids know how to do that at a very young age to make a circle out of something because it's just Play-Doh at that point, right? So meatballs are always great. Get them if you're going to get them to cut. Then you don't want to give them a knife. What I would say is that if you have a little kid, give them scissors.
Yeah.
Right? Get them cutting things, but just give them let them use their little scissors that even have that tiny little thing. They can cut herbs with those. You know, you can cut a
I
little.
actually use scissors to cut chives and herbs actually now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So give them scissors, but get them in the kitchen and don't make it seem like it's a pain in the ass. Like what we did was Roxy had her own sort of stool. Right. And it was only for that. It wasn't for anything else. It wasn't when she was a little kid, we had to pull a chair over. But after that, she just had her own sort of stool and it was theirs. And she would just go and grab it and whip it into the kitchen and then just go and stand on it. And she started baking and then she started cooking with me. And then when she was like 5, I guess, she was making like a chicken parm, like all three levels of like breadcrumbs, egg wash, all of that stuff, seasoning it up. And so she was like 6 when she sort of was started in with that stuff. But yeah, I would say just get them in the kitchen.
Yeah,
and
they love helping.
Yeah,
Love.
and it really helps when you're in the kitchen. Get them to help with stuff that they can eat as you're going.
Totally.
Right, like stuff that they can try. You know, as they're going. Even if you buy like a Pillsbury cookie thing, where it's that cookie dough that you can eat raw.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like that kind of stuff. Like use that when you're doing it, and then they can just flatten them out. Flattening out a cookie is cooking to a little kid, right? And just let them know. Again, let them try it as you're sort of going on. That's what we did. But you know, just get them in the kitchen.
Kara says here, Maury, since you and Dammit Matthew are the only two that live together in your condo, do you just leave the toilet seat up all the time? Razamoka, do you put it down for your partners? And if not, do they get mad at you for it? I live with my 3 young boys, so I'm constantly falling into the toilet at night.
Which is weird because, I mean, I do most of my bathroom work sitting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So the seat's always down.
Seat's always down anyway. But that's not because I am too lazy to stand or put it up or whatever. I just prefer to sit when I pee and get a lot done.
Yeah.
Oh, she means the seat. I thought she meant the lid. The lid's always, like everything's always down in our place.
The lid too?
Everything's down, always down.
Yeah? Why the lid?
Well, because I put, like, if I'm getting ready for work in the morning, my pajamas are always, I leave them on the toilet. So everything's down. Plus, we have one of those fancy toilets where if you just tap it, it goes down automatically.
Huh?
Like, it's like
It's a soft close.
Yeah.
Yes, it doesn't go down automatically.
Oh,
It's
I
a
thought you
soft
meant like you
close.
press a button and the seat goes down.
No. You just tap it and it goes down.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Like basically like all toilet seats now, right? They all
Everyone
have
has
soft
this?
close.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I am always leaving the toilet seat down.
You are.
No matter what. Yeah.
Right.
Doesn't matter what I'm doing. I will always.
I don't
know.
lift it to pee.
I've been, even when I was like living like by myself before I even got into a relationship. When I was living by myself, like in the condo or the apartment or whatever, I would always, I don't know why, it was just a habit. I always put the seat down.
Really?
I never
Yeah.
lift the seat to pee.
What do you mean?
I pee, like
Through
I
the
lift the
seat?
lid and I pee through
That's
the
a
seat.
dangerous game.
What?
I never lift. I stand to pee and I don't lift the seat.
Right, but what if, do you splash on the seat a little?
No, only only once in a while if the stream splits.
Yeah. And then I used to wipe it off with my sock.
Like there are some, yeah.
The one that you're wearing?
Yeah.
Whoa! That's so
Yeah,
gross.
yeah.
And then you go lay down on the couch and put your feet up?
Yeah, like
Bleh.
when I was a horrible, like when I was a gross teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was too lazy to lift the seat up and I peed, and if a little bit got on the toilet seat, I would lift my leg and just rub it off with my sock and, and then continue to go on with my life.
The toilet paper is right there.
Yeah, I know.
Why wouldn't you reach for the toilet paper? Grab like 2 squares.
Because then I got to bend over. And if I'm bending over, I should have just lifted it in the first place.
So how about Matthew? Does he put the seats down, or does he?
No,
leave
in
it
his
up?
bathroom, the seat's down, but the lid's up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But
So-
he never like after he pees.
He sits to pee.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, he sits to pee. He never
okay.
stands to pee.
Why does he sit to pee?
So he can look at his phone.
Oh, yeah. Same girl.
Okay, Simon says here, "Hey Roz, got any big plans for your super fresh grass this summer? Got any bougie seeds that you want to grow?"
Yes. No, I'm going full on this summer because this is going to be my year because I've been prepping now for the past 4 years to get to this year. So this year, hopefully, everything should look just absolutely dynamite. But I went really, really hardcore on wildflowers this year.
Really?
Yeah. So we have a huge ditch that runs along the whole property. So the ditch is probably about, I don't know, like 200 feet long or something like that, and then all along the bottom of the property, which is probably a span of like maybe 300 feet that hooks all the way up to the other side. And Catherine doesn't know, and she doesn't listen to this part of the podcast. So
So everyone keep your mouth shut.
keep your mouth shut. So I spent, I think, $500 on seed.
Okay, now let's say when Catherine asks, because she will at some point, she'll say, "Hey, how much does this cost?" Or,
will she though?
Probably.
I don't know.
Just in case, you should have a number in your mind.
Oh, I already do. Like just over 100. That's all I say for everything. That's all I. That's all I say for everything is just over 100. And she's like, "Oh yeah, cool. It's a lot of flowers for that." No, but
you never like go like get mad at her for camera gear that she buys or clay.
I know nothing about what she spends money on. That's her
That's
business.
her money, yeah.
It's not my business. Even if it's my money, it's none of my business what she spends.
Because now she's into claying, so she spends all kinds of money on clay.
And that ain't a cheap hobby. I know that. But,
Just over $100.
Everything's just over $100, right? Because what are you going to say to that? Just over $100. We spend that on Uber this weekend. You know what I mean? and that's what I'll say to Catherine all the time. If I go to get something, she'll go, "God," she's like, "No way am I paying $80 for that," or "No way are we paying $80 for that." And I'll say that. I'm like, "Babe, the last like 4 days we spent that on Uber." Right? That's what I always say, even though we haven't, but she just knows how expensive Uber is. But the reason they were so expensive was because I wanted 10 variations of wildflowers that were all pink.
Wow.
So I wanted all pink wildflowers. And so I found this company in America who put together this giant bag for me, 2 giant bags actually, of all varieties of just pink wildflowers.
And you just dump them in?
No, I had to till, 4,000 or 2,000 square feet.
Jeez.
More than that, even 3,000 square feet of ditch.
Wow.
And first I had to kill everything in there. Then I had to till it. Then I had to rake it. Then I had to till it again. Then I had to kill all the weeds again. Then I had to get it just soil. Then I had to sow the seeds and then wait for it.
When are they going to...
Spring.
When are you expecting that? Oh, okay.
Spring.
How do you ensure that no animals eat this?
I'm fine with, like, what do you mean animals?
Like rabbits and stuff if they eat all your flowers.
Believe me, I had 7 turkeys in my backyard the other day. I'm totally fine with rabbits eating.
My family was there?
Yes, exactly. You know that turkeys can jump and fly, like into trees and stuff?
That blew my mind when I saw that in your video.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's weird.
Who knew?
And they're loud and they just poo everywhere.
Oh,
they're
gross.
disgusting. They're so gross. And they're ugly. Like, they are ugly. It's, oh, God, they're foul looking.
We'll end on this. Greg says, specifically for Roz, Dammit Maury, and Shem.
Okay.
Hi, Shem.
Hello.
Could each of you attempt to imitate Mocha's laugh?
Interesting. You know what's crazy is I would say, yes, I could, but I almost need to hear one for reference. Like, I almost need to hear.
Do you want me to tell him a joke?
What's that?
Like, so picture me holding a shaker of salt over my head.
Yeah, I know you're under assault.
That's not going to work more. Man,
Give me another one.
Man, if I swear to God, like, you better try harder in your marriage than you do in this room. Okay, there we go. Okay. That's it right there.
Oh, yeah, I have your reference.
Okay. Maury, you go. You go.
That's not my laugh, Maury.
Argue me on that.
Okay, argue me on that? What does that even mean?
That was weird.
Argue me on that.
Okay, Shem.
Okay, Shem.
Yo, that's good. That was really good.
Okay, I'm gonna try.
Yo, that's good too.
So we're all close.
Okay.
No, you're the furthest, Maury.
Okay, argue me on that, Maury. Go ahead, go again. Okay.
Like no. There's elongated thing sometimes.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
No, there's not. Okay, this has been fun.
Wow, you went with the no, there's not, as opposed to there sure is, huh?
What? Huh?
Who?
Maury.
What?
You.
Shut up. Every week you'll see on Instagram at Kiss925 where we simply put a picture that reads Ask Roz and Mocha. Ask your questions and we'll try to answer on future episodes of the podcast. Thank you for listening. This is
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10
on Kiss 92.5.
Kiss925.com.
Or download the Kiss 92.5 app.